This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Well, good evening, 7 o'clock straight up. It is on a Tuesday evening. You are in Studio C, that is, with me, Clayton McKee, alongside Katie June and Al Perkins, who's intently reading something on his iPad. He's very busy over there. Marnie has texted that she is so close yet so far away.
Yeah.
So at some point between now and 10 o'clock, we hope to see her. The invitation is open. Let's just leave it that way. Yeah. She's welcome to stop by at any time. She says the 2-minute countdown begins now, so we'll see how that works out. But again, we are here with you. Thank you for joining us. It's a Tuesday evening. We do it every Tuesday, 7 to 10, coming to you live from Central Phoenix, right here in the heart of my house.
Yeah.
There's no getting around it. You can't get
Command Center.
Yes, I like it. It also starts with a C, Katie. That's good. Command and Center, both do. A lot of C's. We're into alliteration.
I wandered in from the bathroom.
Well, it's not a long walk. It really isn't. It's a good safe walk. We'd like to say hello to everybody listening out there, the ships at sea and whoever the hell else is out there. I'm sure there's other people listening. We'll find that out more later. But once again, here we are, Tuesday. Katie, hi.
Hi.
What are you were busy doing something? You were eating something.
Well, a Reese's.
Oh.
Yeah. So the minis, I've gotten hooked on these now. The new diet is we're trying to potty train Palmer with candy. And
the Rosie O'Donnell method is
it's
known.
now.
Oh,
it's
is
so
that really?
sad. It's not working for her, but it's really not working for us because
you're eating
all of it.
But do you find that you either go better or go more often?
Yeah, I think it's working really well for me.
Yeah. I'm as regular as can
bathroom.
be.
I heard recently that another reason or another something that makes you go like hell is the sugar-free gummy bears are available at Amazon.com.
I saw that. Did you post that?
No,
Who
I
did
did
that?
not. I heard about it from a friend who said apparently the reviews are very funny of this product. It's a 5-pound bag of sugar-free gummy bears. And it says eat in moderation, but apparently if you fly in the face of that warning, you're going a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, the best part is there is actually a warning on the back, like very small letters, and it says
like the old Olestra?
Yeah, and it's like the sugar substitute in this causes
anal
yeah.
leakage.
Yeah, essentially, yes.
It's called
And
colon blow.
It is hilarious. This woman was like, I ate 5 and I literally exploded for days. I mean, they are really, really great.
Just
reviews.
take the sugar. It's a bear. You know what
If
I mean?
you
Right.
hate someone, give them these.
Yeah.
Like all these great.
Oh, no, these are the regular ones.
I'm still on board
Enjoy.
with regular sugar. Why do you need all of these additives? I'm not big on that.
Clayton, I'm with you. I don't get it.
That's my deal.
If I'm gonna put sugar in something, I'm gonna use sugar.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
use sugar.
I'm going to just eat it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like let's not get weird.
That's
Yeah.
it's kind of where I am with that thing, which
So-
also kind of goes in line with the whole deal of me not having soda and all
Right.
that stuff anymore.
And now we can get on that cross. Like,
Look
the worst
who-
thing for you is to
Look who has
take
shown
soda.
up, Marnie Ryer. Hi, darling. Oh, let me turn that on for you. Oh, there you go. My God, did you get a haircut? Your hair seems short.
did.
It seems shorter.
Yeah,
not you. I mean, you seem the same height, but
not really. I shrunk about 1.5 inches.
I'm so afraid that's a worry.
But that way, yeah.
Great shirt, also.
Oh,
Happy to see you sporting the HRC.
matches our little flag.
And my notebook today.
Oh, you got it.
Oh, wow. Jesus. I guess I missed the memo.
I feel I'm blending in.
How come we don't have any equality swag over
Well, I'll
here?
bring some swag. I'll bring some next time I
could
come.
you? We should.
Well, I had
will.
to buy my own swag.
Oh, see.
Oh.
Bitter party of one. That's why I was late. I had to go buy my own swag.
Awkward silence.
Actually, not bitter at all.
Got it.
Joking.
Well, no, but that'd be fun if we could get some HRC
Yeah,
swag up
let's
in here.
do it. We'll have an
'cause that's coming
HRC
up. Now, by the way, is the event that you're talking about that you're planning on, is that the one that I do VOG for?
It is.
Okay, and that's on what night of the week?
It's on a Saturday, March 29th.
Okay, so
So mark your calendar.
I will.
And actually, we're excited. We've been planning the program for, and so I'm co-chairing the HRC Gala. It's our 10th annual gala, and it's actually really more important in Arizona than ever. And as you know, you in this room, maybe not the ships at sea, but 4 couples.
We're the dinghies.
Yeah. 4 gay couples
sure.
in Arizona have filed lawsuits.
Yes, we talked about that last
recognize-
week.
Yep. Recognize their marriage. And that's happening. In addition, HRC has had this kind of plan years ago in the making. Their thought was it's going to be easier to achieve full marriage equality if you start slow and a state by state basis,
Oh,
right?
sure it
Like
is.
you can't go to the top. You have
No,
to build
right.
momentum.
Right.
And
I
support.
totally agree with that.
And so Arizona is now one of their targeted states.
Okay.
There's a campaign called Why Marriage Matters Arizona. I think it's .com. And you can go. It's actually really cool. It's being supported by HRC Arizona, One Community, and Equality Arizona. And ultimately, it is, and I may have mentioned this last week, but it's changing the minds of there's about a 5 to 6% of undecided voters in Arizona that could really swing a marriage vote.
Now, were they in Gilbert?
They may be, perhaps.
Not
why-
sure.
Maybe
why do you-
Mesa, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Because I would,
Oh, I thought-
out in Mesa and Gilbert, I'm assuming that they actually have that down pat.
Yeah.
How they're
Oh,
feeling
okay.
about things.
I thought
So,
there was something that you were in on that I didn't.
It's probably
wasn't aware
Glendale.
of.
Just
Probably Glendale.
facetious.
You know, something like that.
Good point.
So,
Gotcha.
anyway, this year, all the money that's raised at the gala is staying in state to really affect us here personally. So
Very
we've
cool.
always worked for other states, and now it's coming here. So it's exciting.
That's very
We've been
exciting.
talking about the program. We're excited to do a lot more with our dear friend Clayton, the voice of God, this
Now
year.
I say that like I'm already on board for this. Nobody has contacted me
Oh.
to do it, but I'm.
Hey, are you free on Saturday, March 29th?
March 29th.
No,
What day
March
is that?
28th. You
I
just
thought you said March
that's-
29th.
No, I did. Saturday, March 29th.
Oh, it is the 29th.
Uh-oh. Do you really have plans?
Well, I don't. It's my mom's birthday,
I'm all,
but who's to say mom couldn't attend with me?
Maybe we could get her. Yeah, maybe we could like give you some
What-
tickets.
Well,
for
no,
your-
no, that would be great.
You can't have a ticket
Right,
you're sitting in the
I'm
booth,
off on the
but
production side, but it would be fun. What I would,
Maybe she could sit at my table.
what I would enjoy, I actually would very much enjoy that because mom has not gone to one of the HRC events. I mean, she's gone to many different events that I've been part of, but this one, I mean, she can see from the production standpoint of it. But I would like for her to sit at a table.
Oh my God,
with
she
you
and
guys.
my mom would get along
Oh,
swimmingly.
then I'd say that it's
nice.
done. Mom, if you're
They're going
listening,
swimming.
Oh my God, you're coming to the HRC Gala. Happy
that's
birthday.
very nice. Now, by the by, where is it held this year?
It's the Arizona Grand Resort. It's the old Point South Mountain.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Al's quite familiar with that area.
What's that era?
Old Point South Mountain.
Oh, God,
The
yes.
Arizona Grand.
You and
2 years of fun employment there.
yes.
Oh, at the Grand.
Oh, really?
No, it was
or
the
at
Point
the,
South-
excuse
yeah,
me, Point South Mountain.
Right.
by Hilton.
Yes,
back
right.
when it was a Hilton.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
did, now, am I mistaken? You did banquets? What did you do?
There I did the sports bar and I can't remember what the restaurant was called,
You and Heather.
but it was the one attached to the sports bar. Up on
Yeah.
the
No,
fourth
I'm sorry.
floor.
That's where you met Heather.
That's where I met Heather.
Right.
Yes, that's how all of you met Heather is because I found her at work.
And then you
I
brought
found
her
her at a job and brought her home.
brought her to BS West, and then it's like,
Well, yeah. First I brought her home, and then I brought her to my job, to my other job.
gotcha. Okay, well then that sounds fantastic. So,
So
the
yeah,
29th
that's
of
so
March,
cool.
very nice.
I'm
so mom
excited.
will be there with your mom. I think that's perfect.
I think so
That
too.
works out well.
Good work.
Good times.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And piggybacking your story, and I'm sure this is all on everybody's mind, just what happened today. Apparently, a judge
Oh
has
my
struck
goodness.
down the fact that, or saying that the ban on gay marriage is unconstitutional in dear old Oklahoma.
How does that sound go?
So
Oh,
Oklahoma, where the
da, da, da,
wind goes rolling across the plains.
Hey, yes.
and now it's Russian.
So
So many nationalities at once.
Oklahoma.
Just throw it all together.
In the
That's what I
whitest state
get.
in
No.
these united.
Now, though it says on like my Facebook profile and others, I actually I'm from a small town in Southwest Missouri called Joplin. Suburb of that called Carl Junction is where it says I graduated high school because my school.
didn't graduate
Well, no,
high
no.
school? Oh.
My school years.
witness
I
protection.
spent many more years in school in that school than I did. We moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma for 2 years, and I actually graduated out of a school in Tulsa. So it's interesting to know that some of the people that I went to school with that clearly were gay are hopefully rallying behind this
Oh, very
this
good.
new deal in Oklahoma, in the
Clearly.
Sooner State, and that's where Brandy Sokolowski and Tambra
Yeah.
Williams moved, literally a mile from where we used to live
Yeah,
in Tulsa.
it's crazy.
On like they have to go down a street we used to live on to get out of their neighborhood, which is kind of
Yeah.
funny.
Crazy.
Yeah, so that's very
Yeah,
cool.
good I thought about them right away. That's
Totally,
very cool.
totally did. Totes my goats.
Yeah.
Totes my goats.
I'm
Cray,
glad we have a
cray,
clear working
adore.
definition of totes McGoats.
Yeah.
With visual aids.
Goats in a wagon. Very good. Nice.
Really fun.
That really was.
Marnie, have you had? Are you clearing hurdles and challenges with your new Apple device? Are things going well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're out driving and you have no idea where you are, and then you turn, you're like, oh my God, I'm right here. I found my way back.
Oh.
That's kind of what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be kind of all over the place, and then I'm like, damn it, I just need to get back here. Oh.
Yeah.
What did I
as soon
press?
as I could figure out how to do copy paste, that's all I need for my computer.
That's what
Yeah.
but I don't know how to do that on this yet.
He'll show you.
Command C, Command V.
Oh, Command C, copy,
feel-
Command V, paste, Command X, delete. Like if you want
So
to copy,
there's no,
cut, paste.
like,
So why would V be paste?
Because P is print, so they needed something else.
You are gonna,
thank you.
You're gonna get on board with the shortcuts, and you are just gonna feel
No, that'll be
happy.
fantastic because that's the one thing
And
where
your
I'm like,
control button is your right click. So if you want to spell check something or
Yeah.
highlight something, use your control.
well, that's what I've done, and then it goes away. Once I highlight stuff, because I've highlighted everything.
Maybe it's
and
all
then it goes away.
wrong.
We need
Oh
to.
no! Now when you if you pick a word and hit
Yeah.
control and hit that word, it'll like spread out. and
Yeah,
less-
'cause it
Do you
doesn't-
want to define it? Do you want to spell check it?
It's like crazy cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
So welcome.
I'm just happier than shit right now. That's fantastic.
Now have you
Thank you.
got on board with what Al was talking about last week, where you get everything to talk to one another?
Again, slowly.
Slowly?
We have different languages, I think, going on right now,
Okay.
but we're getting there.
Well, just like marriage equality, you've got to start small
Yeah.
and build up
that's
to get
exactly
it.
what we're doing, and I've heard that that's the case. I've heard it's the best way to.
It very
to go
yes. Conquer the little things. All of a sudden, you got it all. You've won
true.
everything.
That's true.
I just have to respond to the chat. The sports bar was attached to the fancy restaurant that I worked at. I didn't
Yeah.
work at another place in time, but I worked at. Oh, it had a toucan is the thing, but it overlooked the city. Like the restaurant part of the bar that I worked at was gorgeous, but their key lime pie was the worst thing ever. It's on the 4th floor of the sports complex.
Now, do you mean worst
Wasn't
as in
I'm
it?
confused. Wrestler's Roost.
Yes, that was
No,
it.
Wrestlers
That's
Roost is-
out there,
there's
but that's a
Wrestlers-
different thing.
Right, there because it's one of the largest resorts in Arizona, but in the main complex, the sports complex part of it, overlooking the main pool,
Yeah.
and like the water slide is off to the side.
Waterside's so cool.
It's a 4-story building. The 3rd story is the gym. The 4th
yeah.
story is the
I've
the
not
bar
been
and
there.
restaurant.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I've not
Okay.
been there.
The view is spectacular because it faces north through a patio and corner windows.
Yeah, I've been to the spa and gym.
1 floor up. That's where I
Shocker.
worked. Yeah.
Shocker,
I did
Katie.
go to the spa.
Oh, yeah, and it was nice because my doctor was actually on the 3rd floor. My gym was on the 3rd floor. I lived a block
That's so
away.
great.
Like my world got so tiny for those 2 years, and
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, that's nice.
I just wanted to pass something out.
Oh, already? We're having handouts early?
Handouts.
Got it. What do we got?
Yes. Well, for the two of you, these were supposed to be here at Christmas, and they're silly, but they're little zombie gums.
Oh,
Do you
Oh,
chew in
that's
case of emergency?
funny.
Is that
Just,
what?
yeah, exactly, right? In case a zombie is coming.
I hear it tastes like death.
And
That's
let me
cute.
just
Oh,
tell you, I
thanks,
know
Mark.
what exactly am I chewing on here.
Yeah,
When
we
I
don't
love
know.
danger, zombies run.
Yeah.
Now,
But y'all have
command.
fresh breath.
you, sir,
Yes, me.
I just never want you to feel left out. So,
Oh.
also, just in case, just
Is that one of those $49.95
in
versions?
case you want a pastel.
in pastel.
Now I'm jealous. I just found out about the pastel variety.
Well-
Not just this now,
No,
but like 2 days ago.
Okay, got it. Well, no.
There is nothing that you can write that people will take seriously in any of these 4 colors.
It's almost like a.
Never.
but they're delightful.
It's almost like a clown pin.
It really is. Because lavender, titty pink, pale blue, and lime green. Seriously, no one's going to take
And
you.
I-
You're
Solely
instantly a
based-
12-year-old girl
solely-
in all of your
No, I
communication.
don't-
Solely based on the fact that I know Al far too well.
Oh! I wanted to be
Marty
a
for the
14-year-old
win.
girl. That is so
God.
exciting.
So
It's actually embarrassing because I use titty pink for real.
I-
Yeah.
well,
Okay, by the way, it was
it's a whole
only
different.
it was only a 2-pack.
That's a different topic.
yeah. It
But if
really,
you need one, I'll go get you one.
So for those of you wondering at home what we got,
I figured.
these are the big 4-color pins that Al had to have. He mentioned
Classics.
on the classics, yes,
the classic.
that he needed to have one for charting at the restaurant because people need to know when they get their greasy steaks. So anyway, lovely, Marty. Thank you for this. It's like it's a
Absolutely.
belated Christmas.
It is.
Oh,
Absolutely.
and it comes with a chime.
Merry Christmas.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Now, see, I enjoy that. Those are gifts with a purpose and a meaning,
Absolutely.
They
not
do.
just some foo-foo gift that.
Like zombie gum.
like zombie gum.
No, that's important too. No, I mean like, I don't when you buy stuff for people. No, it's all important.
yeah, I know where you're going with that.
Every gift ever is very, very important.
Every gift ever. Got
May I have
it.
2
I-
coasters, please?
Geez.
Oh, yes,
may.
of course.
Oh, we got it. We have coasters.
Also,
Thank you.
how about a Reese's Mini?
Oh,
'Cause
this is her new diet.
I needed to. We're buying these for Palmer to try to bribe her into potty training. She's not eating them, but we are.
So oddly, I do this this Article 9 training, and it's all about the idea of positive reinforcement. And if you are out at the mall or you're this or you're that, and you want her to potty train, but you don't have, you're somewhere, you're at South Mountain and there's the bathrooms,
no
but
mini
you
Reese's?
don't have little mini Reese's, don't think that she's not going to throw a fucking tantrum. The end. So just be careful of that.
That you keep them
Yeah.
in the hot sun and you're
No, what's the
no, because go ahead.
No, what's the learning curve time on these things? Because I was very young when I did it, so I don't remember. But I know
Because like next week,
Most
you
of
want
us
one of these,
were.
I'm going to be pissed.
So you, I mean, you started when with this?
Well, we bought the potty a while ago, and we've been talking about it. And we bought
You
big
just got
girl
a toilet now?
undies. It's weird. Yeah,
Kate,
we had a hole in the backyard before.
I remembered just as I made the
You can
shot.
still make it.
She
I'll
can
still
get
get it.
She can get it.
she will retrieve.
Yes.
So I actually don't really know. What we've been doing lately, and I just don't know if it's working. My mom says,
Well, is she peeing in that or peeing on the floor?
well, both.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
and the
got it.
couch actually, which is really sad.
Oh.
What we've been doing is we've been, when we're home and we're kind of around her.
Make a note not to take a couch from Katie's if
I
she's
know.
getting rid of it.
So what we do
There's
is
a
we
reason.
we take off her bottoms, but it's a little too cold in the house, so she has like a sweatshirt on and big tall socks and and she's completely bottomless, and she's running around, and she's only supposed to be allowed to sit on the dog bed, because if she pees on the dog bed, that's okay. Because the dogs also pee on the dog bed.
Yeah.
But they're old,
It's
so
really a
it's
place
fine.
for everyone to pee.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm glad Brewer has disbanded CPS for you.
I know. This segment right here could get
Right,
us in
yes.
trouble.
Go lay down on the dog bed and pee.
This is it.
So, but and we encourage her to pee in there, but she won't go number 2 yet in the potty. She won't poop in the potty yet. It's weird, She's been
Yeah, but
going in a
that's
diaper for 2
normal.
years, so
That's
it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, there's some kind of trauma involved
Yeah,
in that.
there is.
It's
There's something
weird.
about poop.
So this morning,
Everybody poops.
she
Everybody
comes
poop?
in. She's bottomless, and she's already peed in the little potty, and we're having breakfast, and we're playing, and watching the news, and whatever. And and we have a big potty chart in the bathroom, so she gets one sticker when she fills up a whole end of a row. You get a can, one piece of candy,
Token economy.
and at the end of a sheet, you get a little prize, dollar store fries kind of thing. And
Because of the budget.
This
Of course.
morning,
Talked about last
yeah,
week.
Of course.
this morning,
Later on, you'll be able to take her to Apollo's for bingo. Same prizes. Same prizes.
Exactly.
she'll be equally as happy.
And we're hoping they're peeing in the toilet.
But the
Not
best
always.
thing,
Not always.
There are dog beds all over the place.
tonight's bingo sponsored by PetSmart.
Depends. Yeah.
Go lay by your dish.
Okay. So what happened?
So this morning she comes into me, and it's just the cutest little thing ever, because she gets it. She knows that she maybe didn't do the right thing. We're certainly not punishing her, so it's not a bad thing, but she knows maybe it wasn't right. And just her tiny little 2-year-old face is just adorable. And I'm making breakfast, and she comes in, she's holding her little teddy bear, and she goes, Mommy, what happened in the playroom? And I go, what did happen in the playroom, honey? And we walked in, and there's like little drops of poop, like little turd in the playroom. And I go in and I look back at her, and she's like, literally gives me this like the cutest, most innocent, like, I have no idea.
How did
Look,
that
she's
happen?
literally like,
and she's holding the bear, like, gonna blame it on the bear.
she's hugging the teddy bear to like protect. She's like,
That's awesome.
I don't know what happened. It was the cutest thing. So, we have some friends that have younger kids that are totally freaked about potty training. We're just kind of letting it happen.
Sure.
And we work from home. It's very nice and easy and convenient for her
Very
to kind of like
helpful.
always be bottomless.
Yep. Well,
just, like-
everyone's gonna let that go.
The only thing I like
can tell
bottomless
that
is
people were
mimosas.
Right up until
Comfortable.
I see my
I know,
therapist
it's like,
next,
well-
and then I'm going to have to bring it
No,
up.
but that whole idea of really with anyone. But if you think about it, if you are giving chocolate, Seidel decided that she was going to potty train her niece. She had her niece like for 6 days out of the week because of the working parents, and Seidel's a chocoholic. So when Ruby came out, when it was time to go to the bathroom, she would give her an M&M.
Yeah.
And there were M&Ms just kind of flowing.
You're going to teach
all
me a
over.
lesson, I think.
Kind of what I'm trying to do. Because then she would go in and flush the toilet and come out, and Auntie Wisa. And Seidel wasn't quick enough to realize she was just flushing the toilet.
Yeah.
So
You
Ruby-
working me, Wilma?
Exactly. I mean, so Seidel's sitting there like, oh, what a good girl. When you give her
Here's some more
M&Ms.
chocolate.
Well, she was loaded up a little bit on chocolate, number one. And number two, really hadn't done anything. And so here she's being kind of
Hopped
praised.
up on chocolate for nothing.
Yep.
And
so
addicted
when-
to toilet flushing.
Yes.
And
so a
now
lot of water. It's very expensive.
and now a diabetic.
Yeah, completely. Diabetic coma at 3. But she, the whole idea was when Lisa said, "Oh, well, then I'm not getting
that it was bad.
It was a horrible
End of the world.
end of the world tantrum. So if you always will have like a high five and good job, honey, and all
Things
of
you
this
can
stuff
do
with
with an empty purse.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. No matter where you go, no matter where you go. But you're right. Kids need a little bit more incentive.
Right. And I will say though,
Token
it's
economies are
good
great.
because
Did you say choking on a condom is great?
Yes. You know that,
There's
right, Al?
CPS back there.
That's
Yes.
literally what I heard.
Token economies.
Fortunately, yeah.
Completely different.
Actually similar. Go on. Depending.
Both full of something. All right.
Fortunately, Palmer hasn't actually gotten many chocolates yet because we can't keep them in the house. We eat all of them.
Now, let me just tell you right now.
Literally a bag and a sitting.
In regards to
It's
the,
not working
so
out.
funny.
make sure. I wouldn't use Milk Duds as the chocolate bait.
Yeah.
Because based on what what she left in the nursery,
Or
Totally.
Raisinets.
yeah, Raisinet's another
it's
bad
so
choice.
True. It's
Especially
so
if you have a
true.
rabbit.
However, she might figure out one goes in, one comes out. That might be better.
We're not sure what you put in,
Simple
what's going
math.
out.
Simple
Yeah.
math lesson.
Give her like a Milky Way.
Yeah.
See the whole
there you
thing.
Go. There you go.
And she's not
Just
old
a
enough
big,
yet.
There you go.
full size, king size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God Almighty.
Anyway. Well,
Well, now
let that
we've
be a
ended the
lesson
show.
to you.
Yeah.
That's it, everybody. See you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Good night. Thank
Next
you.
week on Mommy and Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Title totally.
Now,
agree
Mr.
with
Perkins,
that.
I
It
know
was
that you had to have been upset because you had texted me on Sunday to come join with you in the joy that is the Golden Globes. 3 minutes into it, well, got called into the restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Welcome to the 71st annual Ring.
Oh, man.
God damn.
But they
That's a bummer.
Yeah, because they
Sure.
put me on call at 5, and at 6:01 they're like, yeah, we got to take
Now-
that back.
God.
Let me ask you, if it were the Oscars,
Oh no,
then what?
No, that I would have never been
They know.
scheduled.
Okay.
Yeah, they
I
just
know that
better.
date years in advance. The Golden Globes are just a week. The award season started a week early. The schedule that I'm in now ends Saturday. I did not Google award shows yet
Prior,
because
yeah.
that wasn't a schedule where I thought I had to worry about award shows. But everything with the Olympics is just in a different place.
Yeah.
Like NBC lost its mind. And now they've all reached this agreement with the nominations, and everything's on different dates now. Like the Academy Award nominations didn't used to be till around Valentine's Day. Now they're day after tomorrow. Like we're really
That's early.
They really want to stop all the award shows from affecting each other.
Okay.
So everyone's ballots are out without seeing anything.
Well,
Like
that's
they'll
good.
see the winners before they'll see winners of other award shows, but they won't see the
Be able to,
nominees. They
like,
can't be
vote.
lazy, right? They
Okay.
can't be lazy and see who won to be like, oh, maybe I'll see that movie. Like you got to have a little bit more information going in. So
Got it.
So
Okay.
it was just a thing, and I had just asked for it off. I was scheduled. I had asked for it off. Put first cancel. They're like, well, we can't cancel you, but we can put you on call. And they were like confident, like we don't need you. Like we've looked at the schedule. We won't need you. But I still took a shower and ordered my dinner and sat down and was
Just
all
in
ready.
case.
I watched the pre-show, and then I was like, they're like, yeah, it's over. Do they come in? But so I was actually there before I was actually supposed to start work. Like, you know what I mean? Because I was already dressed and
Ready.
ready. So I watched as much as I could, got in the car, had my coffee and my food already in the bag. And I'm like, all right.
Boom.
Yep.
There you were.
There we were.
Anything
And
else?
they have to pay me a lot when they do that shit.
Oh, that's
so,
good.
Yeah, there was not all eyes will
And you
weep
still
for
got
me.
to DVR the awards
Yeah,
and watch them later.
next morning. Yeah, watch them
Perfect.
next morning. So it all worked out perfectly. But it's just been busy. I literally have worked every single day since I saw you all last.
And you made that comment as you were leaving last week that I'll see you when I stop working again.
Yeah.
Which is today. It's all good. Very nice. Well, this past weekend, as many of you, I made mention last week, which is our first show back after a 2-week hiatus, that over the Christmas holiday, actually New Year's Eve morning, we as a family in Phoenix, for performers in the gay community, lost Miss Ebony. So Saturday was the memorial service at the Alwyn House on 13th Street in Roosevelt. Yeah, and it was. I cannot imagine the people that I saw. I haven't seen. I've been in Phoenix 20 years. There are some people I haven't seen in almost 20 years that just come out of the woodwork because they
and
knew
a line to get in.
the line was rather lengthy to get in. They fit everybody in. They did run out of programs, which was fine. I think they're going to print some more of them. But now I have been. We're doing a tribute show on Sunday night at Charlie's for her, and in collaboration with Todd from Charlie's, he put together the slideshow, and I'm putting together the music. Well, the nice thing about archives of people who do interviews on Q Talk America and other places is I can find audio from an interview of them. So interspersed with, and since I know most of them don't listen to this anyway, I'm not. it's going to be a surprise for the people like Pussy LaHoot and Barbara, who are going to find out that in this memorial, I will have little excerpts of Maury actually talking.
that's cool.
So I thought I would share with you this 30-second clip of something that I found from Maury that was recorded a little over a year ago on another show that was formerly here on Q Talk America.
You see, first of all, my mother found out I was gay and did shows all in one night. So my mother again came to visit me. She asked where I was going. I said, I'm going to the bar. She said, what do you do there? You bartend? No. You clean up? No. You're a waiter? No. What do you do? I said, well, here, you want to go with me to work? And she said, well, yeah, I guess so. So I took her to the bar. That was the first time I'd ever seen my mother drunk.
That's wonderful.
Great timing on that one.
I thought that was good. But no, there's an entire hour-long interview. If you go to Q Talk America and type in keyword Ebony and search for it, you will find an hour-long interview with both Miss Ebony and her transgendered sister, Miss Millie, who do an hour with, formerly it was called All That Glitters, with Scott, with
yeah,
Pandora Destrange and Olivia Gardens. It is in the Q Talk America archives. But I found that and put that together. There's some other things I'm going to use, but it was wonderful to find that audio that's just perfectly
cool.
crystal clear, as opposed to audio that was shot from a bar that always has all those other noise things in it.
And I liked that show, All That Glitters. There was some fun. There was some fun stuff on there.
Well, and those hosts are fun.
Pandora's a good time.
She's fun.
Very fun.
Good people. But anyway, that was it. So that was the big crux of that. And then just getting ready for, as I mentioned before, I'm the entertainment director for Rodeo this year, which is...
we're coming up on Rodeo.
Rodeo is the 14th, 15th, 16th of February. So it's coming up in just a few weeks.
Oh, that's a little late, too. Usually it's
it's January.
Yeah.
They pushed it back. And I don't know if it conflicted with award season.
Well, and
or
hadn't
what.
it gotten rained out?
It may have been due to weather.
For a couple of years, I know they were having some troubles with the rain. So are you the entertainment director for the whole thing and Charlie's, or?
No. Just for the rodeo.
Okay, for the
Just
the
for
rodeo.
that event, I will spend 2 days out there on the grounds hosting the stage along with Nevaeh McKenzie, and then just what I did is I book all of the performers for the 2 days. Then Linda Hoffman is my militant stage director who makes sure that people are on when they're supposed to be or not on. People just don't walk in and have a tape and say, "Can I go on?"
Now, is it at the grounds at 19th Avenue in Southern?
Corona.
Good.
The old Corona.
I like it when it's there.
Corona Rodeo Grounds this year again.
It just feels a little closer.
They went back last year after being at Rawhide, way out south for a long time.
Yeah.
And now I forget what the hiatus was between when they were there and now they're back. But last year,
5 or 6 years.
because last year they were there, and then this year they're going back. So I'm actually going to the grounds on Thursday to take a look, because I've not seen the staging. I have no idea how anything's set up. So I'm going out there.
I just think
Thursday.
in terms of the drinking, like being in North Scottsdale is lovely and pretty, and all the white people are very friendly, but there's just no way to get anywhere up there without drinking and driving.
Okay, so
well, North Scottsdale, I'm talking like
wait, he forgets that Rawhide moved.
Because it was, I don't know if it was ever at North Scottsdale, but it's at Wild
it
Horse
was.
Pass.
No,
was the rodeo in North Scottsdale Rawhide?
Right. Yes, it was. So it used to be way up at Rawhide, and then when Rawhide moved,
that's right, they're at Wild Horse Pass.
Wild Horse Pass. So then it was
And that's
down
even
there.
worse.
That's
even worse.
Even
You
farther.
might as well have it in fucking Tucson.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just as bad.
Really
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, so they abandoned ship with that and moved it back to Corona. A little more intimate setting, obviously, and you're right, it is closer. So they'll have shuttle buses running to and from the bar.
Which I can imagine a more intimate setting for the rodeo is nicer.
I would think so.
Rawhide is so
big.
I just feel like
Strung Over Hills Half Acre.
it's
It was
too
huge.
much.
And if
It's
you've ever
nicer
seen, I
to
think
go
I think
in.
it's Westworld with Yul Brynner was filmed at the
Original?
Rawhide.
No, I liked the original Rawhide.
Yeah, I mean, but
And it was cute.
It was huge. It wasn't cute. It was a giant
but it
ranch.
is. It's
It was
gigantic.
literally Westworld. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy fucking shit.
Yeah.
I never
fun.
went up to. I've been there for other things, but I never went for the rodeo up there because again, it's like I'm gonna go sober and watch people ride fucking horses.
Yeah, that's
that's not gonna happen.
What is that about?
Although a couple of years ago I went.
I'm gonna vote no.
To the rodeo to work at some booth or do something, and I thought I had been to the rodeo a few years at that point, volunteering, and then I was like, yeah, I'm actually going to watch this. And it was really cool to actually go out and
I did it one time.
watch
All the years
the
I went,
rodeo.
I used to say, but go to the rodeo every year, never seen one horse.
No,
And
I
then
hadn't seen anything.
And then one year I was like, it's finally time to go outside and see what they're doing And I was like, that's exciting.
It's
I've had
cool.
enough.
I'm done.
Smells like urine.
My
I
mom
liked
was
it.
ridiculous when is.
She's still with us.
She's still, well,
Just a health update.
still ridiculous. Here's more what I
Hale
was
and
going
Hardy is how
for.
she's been described by the New York Times.
Sober Hale and Hardy.
Right.
Yes.
We when I had moved down here, she was still living back in Minnesota, and I said something just very nonchalant. What are you doing tonight or this weekend? Oh, we're going to the gay rodeo. Silence. They just that we're aware of in Minnesota. I've not seen that bucking bronco, and she goes, okay. Do the horses go whinny? Like what? I don't get it.
What's so gay about it?
Yeah. What's happening? And I
Is
was
it
like,
gay?
oh, I guess I didn't even think like that would sound different.
Yeah, well, the funny thing, the male horses all fuck each other in the butt.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's happening right here on
rodeo.
Cute Talk America.
That's right.
Recently defined. It's strange to me, like all the girls at work, they're like, oh yeah, I was at Charlie's last night. And I'm like, why? What prompted you?
Right.
Yeah.
But then, like, there's a bunch of them. They're like, "When's the gay?" They always come up. When's the gay rodeo this year? I'm like, I don't know. There's something called Google. Try that. Like, how the fuck would I know?
Well, it is.
If it's not in my
not
living room,
partaking,
I'm not
right.
really sure.
So a friend of mine, it's so funny and sweet and innocent, but a friend
Is
of
it on
mine
my TV?
A friend of mine said she told me recently we met through mommy circles, and she's like, you're my first gay friend. Like it was a secret. Like she really
you have to
whispered.
whisper
She's
that
like,
cancer.
you're
Yeah.
just, you're my first ever gay friend. And I'm like,
I bet that's not true, honey.
okay.
Have you ever had your hair
no,
done?
She actually no. She's actually told me since then that her like high school or college boyfriend actually is gay, but they just have lost
Everyone
touch.
says,
Yeah. But she says to me just today, and she's such a doll face, and this girl, and I really like her, and she's like says to me today, I'd really maybe love to go to a gay bar sometime. That'd be fun. And I'm like, you are so cute. Like,
Yeah.
it's just adorable.
It's called
So,
my kitchen. Come on over. I'll make you a drink. We'll play some disco.
Oh my God.
It'll
I have
be a whole
wine
thing.
at home.
Oh, bring
It'll
her
be a whole
here.
Gene thing.
Bring her here.
So I'm excited.
That's all about Gene.
I gotta take her out to a gay bar now.
That
It'll
was
be fun.
rebroadcast Saturday night, by the way.
That's like the third time they played it
that
in less than a
episode
month.
of SNL.
Oh,
Let's do it in my twin bed.
so
Twin bed.
fun.
God, that's
Do it in my
horrible.
twin bed. Twin
That
bed.
is so funny. If you haven't seen that twin bed thing on SNL, just Google. I'm sure it's on Google somewhere. Somebody or on YouTube.
Oh, it is. I watch it at
yes,
work whenever
yeah.
I
That
need a
is
lift.
funny stuff.
Getting wild in a bed that's made for a child. That's just a rhyme you can't go wrong
God,
with.
My monkey sheets.
Yeah.
It's what is it like? Sex at something about home for Christmas.
Yeah, the whole thing is about
Because I've watched it with the girls and they're so funny. That's just for me. Let's do it in my twin bed. Twin bed. Oh, it's so fun.
My monkey sheets that I've had since I was
Yes.
12 or something like that.
my uncle, my trundle bed, and just there's so many wrong things.
And my X-Files, which I have on VCR.
VHS.
VHS. I have
It
on
is
VHS.
Best. My room hasn't changed since I was 12. Like it's funny.
It's funny stuff.
What do you have anything? Because you didn't last week concerning the new player in Saturday Night Live.
She starts this. I think this weekend
This
they go back
weekend.
to
And
new
still-
things.
and still black.
The weird thing.
Still, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. It must be a friend of Don Lemon's, but the person who didn't make it has
You
been
mean-
all over CNN. But they did like an open call in Los Angeles and New
Are you
York.
talking about the gal who didn't make it? The other woman?
Yeah, the other woman that didn't make it. She's
Right.
been all over CNN, and she's very funny. She does Beyonce imitations and Donna Brazil imitations.
Oh, I love
and
Donna
really
Brazil.
funny, but I'm like, can you not get the person that got the part? Right. But
Well,
this-
she's busy.
This woman that didn't get the role that's on CNN every 5 minutes is very funny. And when they asked her, like, how did you feel about the audition? She's like, honestly, it just never occurred to me to audition for Saturday Night Live. She's like, not only were they really not, she's like, they just have such a thing like of not hiring enough women, but black women are pretty much off the table. So she's like, they weren't looking, I wasn't asking. Like, she's like, so it's a little bit of both of our faults. She's like, I'm sure that of the people that were auditioning for it, there just weren't many because black women don't necessarily think of. And then when Mad TV was on,
Oh, and they had like
they
some great black women.
I wanted to say a stable of women, but that's probably wrong.
I was gonna say mad black women.
We were
But
just talking about
it-
horses.
It really was like Mad TV in Living Color. Like there were
Oh my God,
other,
they were the
there were so many
best.
places for that comedy that existed, and so I think they just SNL just kind of like thought, well, we lost that game to someone else, and never thought maybe get back in it.
Well, yeah. Well, then
Yeah.
all those other shows have disappeared. I mean,
Yeah,
Mad
'cause
TV
it's
is
been
no
since
longer.
Maya Rudolph. It's been since Maya Rudolph.
Right, which
They've
is-
had-
and she was
2006?
stupid funny good.
I think.
yeah, I can't remember 6 or
It's
8.
been so-
something
yeah.
there.
Like
Is
that.
now? Have we seen the new girl yet?
Yes, I've seen her, but she starts Saturday.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Saturday is the.
We'll have to all watch. I'm
the
sure
sa-
they'll give her some good
Well,
stuff.
and the sad part about this is going to be if she does one thing wrong, because it's been such a hype thing in the media.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to be all over her,
Right.
Which is unfair to her because my God, there's a lot of pressure on this poor girl. Though she's a improvisational actress, and I'm sure she's obviously good. If she wouldn't have got the part, but all eyes are going to be on her
Oh,
for
yeah.
everything.
And they have regular cast members and then featured people. Then the
How does
featured-
that work?
It's you're featured. That means that you don't get in many sketches, and you kind of work your way up to being a regular member of the
Got it.
cast. And almost everybody that's ever been on there started like 1 year as a featured player or 2 years as a featured player. And
Like
then
Dana Carvey might just be the church lady,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden
And
He's
they
got
put him
some
in,
more
yeah,
for
he presents one sketch that hits, and all of a sudden they need him in other stuff. But now they have so many white guys that almost all of them are featured players.
Didn't originally
But I
back
think they have one of each. So I think they have one regular cast member and they have a featured player.
in the 70s when they started SNL, wasn't it? They named a few people, and then it was also called "and the not ready for primetime
No,
players."
that's what they're
That's
always
what
called.
they
Are they
always
still
do.
called
They're
that?
always called the not ready for primetime players.
Still called that. I thought that had
But
gone
they
away.
had no featured people. They just had. I mean, they have extras. Like the crowd scenes and any of the things are always extras that are just brought in from the streets of New York. And then,
well, that's cool.
yeah, like being an extra on SNL is kind of fun because they just.
You're just like I could do it. Like we could all do it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to audition, and there's they hire extras, but they're literally
Random. So they don't literally walk out to the street and go, "You over there, come on
yeah,
in."
like it's people that are actors or
God
wannabe
damn it!
actors.
I was really hoping for myself.
No, well, you can still get there.
But you can still audition. Like they do.
You're not counted
extra
out.
Well, I'm on the
casting.
streets of New York so frequently, so
Yes,
I'll do
I
that
was gonna
next
say.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah, next
very
time I'm
on
out.
there.
Very
Yeah.
often, I'm
Now,
sure.
I want to ask you one quick question. I know it's an entertainment thing again, but I noticed on the Globes they kept cutting away to Lorne Michaels, which I thought was interesting.
Because he had
I did too.
his alumni had a very
Good
very
night,
good night.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
time.
Amy Poehler.
It
and
was funny
they
when
were
they
hosting
kept
it.
kind of cutting to him. I was
Yeah.
getting a
I
kick out
wondered
of
the
it.
same thing.
And most projects that most of the people that leave and do a show, their show is almost always produced by Lorne Michaels, or their movies are produced by Lorne Michaels.
Oh.
Like Lorne Michaels keeps his finger on everybody.
Because he wants to
But and if I'm not mistaken,
benefit from them.
Amy Poehler, Parks and Recreation, and Adam Sandberg, neither one are Lorne Michaels productions.
Aha.
I think they
Oh.
both got out
got out of his.
Oh.
of under his thumb.
Claws.
Not that there's any accounts of him being bad to work for in any way. Like,
It just
people
so happened that that's
people
how that
are
worked.
ridiculously loyal to that man.
Yeah, it's cool.
And he went away for 1 year, and the show that was the worst year in the show's history, in like 1981, when the original cast left in 1980.
oh, he thought he was going to be done.
Well, yeah, he went with the people because they were all his finds and predominantly a lot of Canadians in the cast. And when they did 1 year with Dick Ebersol, Susan St. James' husband, and it was an epic failure. And then next year, Lorne Michaels came back and brought back like Eddie Murphy and all those people. Like that was, he just turned it around. That cast lasted 1 year,
I have to Google that right now.
and I think it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus is from the one bad year.
oh, but she's
Yeah,
so
she-
funny.
I think you're
wow.
exactly right.
I
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
forgot about that. her
And
being
Brad
in-
Gray, Brad Gray is her husband, and I think he
Not
was
Gray.
a writer.
Not Gray.
Not Gray.
Brad.
It's not Garrett, but it's.
I think it's Brad Gray.
No. We'll
If
have
only
to
there was a
Google that.
way to find
We will. We're about to
We'll
find
Google
it. Hold on.
Yeah.
They'll figure it all out.
binders full of black women. That's what Harrison said. That's funny. So you gonna start headlines soon?
I think we should. We're ready to go, Katie or Marnie. Are you?
Yeah.
Brad Hall.
Brad
Thank
Hall.
you.
There
Yep,
we
good
go.
call.
We figured out. If only there was,
a big time TV producer that I always think, God, his fingers on everything.
or just her.
Just
Wow.
yep, just her.
There's that. All right, we'll figure it out, Marnie. I'm sure you'll make things happen because you're magical.
I am.
Here's some headline stories on this Tuesday evening, coming to you live from Studio C and the show on Q Talk America. Church protests treatment of gay choir director.
Oh, and we're already done.
It's just a headline.
It's
dear.
like NASCAR for fags.
Discrimination online is killing gay sex.
House for sale. It's only slightly haunted.
Empire State Building sues over topless photos.
Please let me back in.
Woman attacked roommate over butter. This story's for Al.
A Frappuccino beer.
And woman pulls gun from her vagina during an argument.
Atta
These
girl.
and more riveting stories coming up in the next 2.5 hours on Q Talk America.
I thought you were going to go longer with the headline. That's why I'm like waiting.
And you're done. No.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to guess that maybe some of you have heard about this. In Indiana, a Methodist congregation has rallied behind a local choir director who left his position and was not allowed to return. And it's presumably because he was gay. Adam Fraley took a job as the choir director for the United Methodist Church in Alexandria, Indiana, about 6 years ago. And he was not openly gay. While during his tenure there, his partner did attend church services with him. Earlier in the year, I guess 2013, earlier in the year, a new minister was hired, and then he was quoted as being, quote, uncomfortable with Fraley being in that authoritative position. He eventually was given so much work, and his workload was increased so much that he actually chose to resign from his position there at the church. 6 months later, which I find odd in this story, 6 months later, the church got yet another new minister. And then the congregation had actually hoped that he would be allowed to come back and be the choir director. Well, apparently the second one that came to the congregation wasn't comfortable either, saying all kinds of things that he wasn't part of the Christian faith and blah, 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 blah. Well, come to find out that the entire congregation was kind of tired of hearing all this crap. 80% of the church's congregation have taken themselves out of the church. They are no longer participating in the church.
Wow.
So now the church is scrambling because, well, without those seats being filled and nobody tithing, church ain't making no money. So now apparently they are working with everybody to figure out how they can get him back into the church because they loved him. In fact, one of the things he says is they met him before they realized he was gay and got to know him as a person, as opposed to that, and they've all realized that they're just like everybody else. So I just think it's great that literally 80% of a church's congregation is like, we're out of here. This is, if you're going to not let him in, then we don't need to be here either. Yeah. I think that's fantastic to stand behind that.
I feel like
people
that,
doing the right thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing happens, I think, a lot in the kind of the modern Methodist churches. They like bop their ministers around from church to church to church. They have like this really bizarre way of moving people. I get this wasn't like the bishops moving someone around, but that happens a lot in Methodist church. But it's really cool to see the congregation, especially with everything going on in the Methodist church right now, really rally behind him. It's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it's just fantastic. They stepped up and said, "Yep, you're not gonna let him in. We're not coming back either."
Yeah, that's cool.
I think so. Marnie.
Well, normally I don't pull out that F word when I use the word fags.
Oh, okay.
NASCAR.
I actually didn't know what F
What
word
F
it
word?
was.
I know that was the.
I was thinking
the
there's
catch.
fraternization.
I had fetard. I was down to fetard.
From under.
Of course he was.
Famunda cheese, is
Yeah.
that what you were
Famunda,
going
yes.
Famunda.
So I was watching AC 360 later, and Dan Savage was on
Love
with
him.
Anderson, and I love him as well. But it was interesting because we've talked about the word fag in here and how it's used and etc. And he was talking about the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes came up, and he said it's like NASCAR for fags, and I personally burst out laughing, and then kind of sat there and watched the look on everybody else's face, like. Okay.
Now, which one said that? Dan Savage?
Dan Savage.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And that part wasn't surprising, and Anderson Cooper was like, really? And all I could see was the two of us, quite frankly, because Cooper was like, come on. And Dan Savage was like, I know you hate it when I say that, but
So
blah, blah, blah.
if he would have said it's like NASCAR for gays,
Yeah.
it would have been fine.
More
But
appropriate.
I think it would have
Right.
been more appropriate.
But that's not Dan Savage.
But
Well, no,
that's not
I
him at
understand.
all. Right. So it was very interesting. I just thought that was...
Butt pirate would also have been inappropriate.
only if Pirates of the Caribbean had
Johnny
been,
Depp and
Johnny
eyeliner.
Depp was on there.
Fudge
yeah.
packer.
On board.
Yeah. Those things sometimes get a little...
fudge packing.
So there
Milk
was
duds.
an interesting thing on AC360. It's allthingsandersoncooper.com, actually. And it says, who is this Dan Savage dumbass on the panel? Seriously, he says that the Golden Globe Awards is like NASCAR for fags. I know he's gay, but I am truly disgusted. It seems that every sentence that came out of his mouth had to do with something gay. He's so annoying. Why would CNN have him on the air? Well, then you have other bright people. And the response was, Dan Savage is the author of American Savage and no doubt a friend of Anderson's. Why? Because they're both gay?
I know.
mean,
Well,
for
every gay
real.
person. Yeah, it's like the
Totally.
weird gay railroad.
Right. Every black person is friends. Why wouldn't every gay
Obviously.
person? What about black gay people? Anyway,
They're best
I
friends.
I also thought he
and butt
was
buddies, apparently, according to
the fudge packers.
Yep.
this person goes on to say, I also thought he was gay, but he referred a couple of times to this, to having a kid. Okay, so apparently you can't have a kid if you're gay as well. Some of these gay types conduct themselves much different than Anderson, who has a little bit more class. Wonder why Anderson looks so formal these days instead of his previous relaxed look. Isn't the program a relaxed group of journalists that are supposed to have discussions? Why would they put him on there? To push the ratings as far as Dan Savage? Though some of these gay types, there were a lot of responses to this that just kind of
we were just talking about this a couple days ago. There was a bunch of us talking that anytime there's a news story and they allow comments underneath it, by the sixth comment,
hate is already there.
It's anti-Obama,
all the time,
racist, you're Hitler, and
anti-gay.
It literally takes 5 comments to get to just
Obama ruined
negative
everything.
or belligerent. Sure, no,
and completely off topic.
No, that's actually that was on. I mean, that part was
does
kind
that.
of.
I wonder, like, who's sitting around?
Oh, people are so bored.
I told you I go to after I see a movie, I go to the fanboy pages to see what other people thought about the movie or like what's the gossip, what's the buzz on a movie, and you can only read like 3 or 4 comments until it just turns into I can't believe you're an asshat. Like why are you trolling this board? Like I mean, you just count the seconds till you get to that comment, and then you just have to get off, and then it just turns into 2 people arguing over who is more like Hitler. And
you're right, but it doesn't even matter what it's in regards to. The funny thing is,
I said on my Facebook page, it could be a story about a nun saving a kitten from a tree, and by the 5th comment, it's Obama's fault, and we're all communists.
And the nun's a dyke.
Yeah.
Right. No, seriously.
Right.
She likes pussy.
The interesting piece was that here Dan Savage makes this comment, but he throws in the word fag, and yet Amy Poehler and Tina Fey came out and just commented about the fact that
women and gay men.
So I mean,
it's a different intent,
but it's a different intent.
Amy Poehler and Tina Fey are just trying to get people to laugh and acknowledge what everyone knows. Dan Savage wants you pissed off.
He does. He wants a reaction.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in complacency. Silence equals consent. He is completely against. He gave us the term Santorum, the frothy mix of semen
so
and poop.
Great.
That is the byproduct of gay sex. I mean, that is.
Oh
God! I didn't realize that was him.
See my pastel pen.
Yes, Savage Love.
Yeah.
My pastel pen.
It's lovely.
I mean, but that is. Savage Love is it's a tough thing, and you don't. It's like that's an unfair comparison. And Coulter's a cunt.
She's horrible.
But
Really,
she one of the
most hideous women on
She
earth.
is going
really
on
is
TV
bad.
just to piss people off, and so is Dan Savage. So in
But
that
Dan
sense,
Savage. But I like what he
But
says.
he's
so I'm
smart.
on board.
and that's the difference.
Yeah, but he's smart as well. Like
Right.
he is very witty with how he does. She's
well,
not.
I don't think Dan Savage equally. And maybe I like him, so I don't think that. But I don't think he's hateful. And
Oh yeah, ask him about Megyn Kelly.
well, she's horrible,
Yeah,
so she
exactly.
deserves it.
He's hateful to
So
all
I
the
guess
same
I
people
just
that
like
we hate.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
him.
So it makes it easy. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
Anyway, I just thought that was very interesting, and the lack of reaction, because I had to really search for that. I just happened to be watching it
Yeah.
live.
No, and you saw it happen.
I saw it happen, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, that has to be on."
And
here.
they're regular guests because I've seen Andrew Sullivan and Dan Savage on there a couple times now, and I really like the show. If you're not watching it,
It's good.
It's on after Piers Morgan, because the new head of CNN has been like, we're not going to just do repeats all
Zucker
night.
said.
Everybody needs more to do. So there's not that you just don't watch the same 3 shows
Right.
for 17,000.
Which I
hours.
always thought was odd anyway.
Amanpour.
I love her.
Yeah.
I love her.
Christine.
And is it Christine?
Christiane.
Yeah,
Christiane
Christiane.
Amanpour.
She was on Anderson, Dan Savage, and a gentleman that editor for something, and I'd have to look it up. He certainly didn't look like he would be someone on TV regularly. I don't mean that rude.
Yeah.
He just didn't have a real smooth look. He was pretty funny though, and
Oh, I know who it was. Big teeth, big buck teeth, the British
yeah,
accent.
kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
He is very funny.
Yeah.
He hosts. He does like live reporting for CNN International when they go to like 2 a.m.
Okay.
And he's very, very funny.
Yeah, it was a neat, kind of an eclectic group. certainly. But
Yeah.
I was.
It's a great show. I mean, I've been trying to catch it more often, and I may start taping it because the conversations are very interesting.
They go through every headline and then sit there and
And,
Cool.
and
That's fun.
discuss it from
Dissect
the journalistic
And
point of view, and why is this a hot story or why is this not? But
And
the
wait,
one
who
time
did you say that was?
it's called AC 360 Later.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's Anderson Cooper.
I thought you were talking
hosting.
about the different. Okay, got it.
But the one night it was two like Republican slouches, and it was really the bottom of the barrel for the Republicans. Like I think they were embarrassed with Christiane Amanpour, and
Who's
they
brilliant.
were trying to
Yes,
like
she is.
lecture her on foreign policy, and she
Oh.
was like, "We need to just shut this down now." She's like, "What you're saying is just not true.
Sure.
So you can't keep repeating it and make it true." She's like, "I am
If you
Christiane
keep saying
Amanpour,
it.
and it's not true. So stop now, and here's the actual."
Because I've
facts."
actually been to all these countries.
So it was
That's
just
very
I
funny.
speak their language.
Just because you say it 10
That-
times.
yeah.
Right.
And she actually shut everybody on the panel down. And I posted that day on my Facebook page. I'm like, you better come correct if Christiane's on there
Yeah.
because she's gonna. And she calls
She'll call you
everybody
out.
out. And she's,
Absolutely.
That's
Oh,
that's the
that's
first time I watched that show, and I'm like, oh, they will up their guests from the Republican side next time she's on.
Right, yeah.
And there, a blonde woman was on there as well, and that was the Republican.
Just the one?
voice. I believe that
Oh
was it.
yeah. What's her
And
name?
she wasn't bad. I mean,
No, she
wasn't
Hoover.
crazy.
Was it Margaret Hoover? Margaret Hoover's on there
right.
quite a bit. Yeah.
Sounds right. I'll have to go back and look for sure. Anyway, sorry.
I don't know any of your names, but I know all these pundits on CNN.
To go back to the comment that Al made in regards to no matter what thread you are viewing on no matter what topic, if it's a movie, if it's a recipe, because I'm always fixing stuff for people, so I sometimes have to look into chat rooms or things, if there's a problem with whatever product or a lawnmower or a vacuum, whatever the hell it is. And the sad part is, it goes right in line. It's the same thing,
Yeah.
no matter what it is. If it, a movie, I can see that it might grate somebody wrong if it's a political thing or how something was happened or how something was represented. But you're talking about the repair of a car, and literally in 3 to 4 comments, somebody will say somebody won't understand something and will post something about their ignorance of a topic, and somebody will chime in, well, listen, moron, and then boom, it fires there. I'm like, what was the point of that? Why did you need to do that?
Yeah.
Or they hate Chevys.
Right,
and
right.
you
That's
have a
why-
Ford
yeah.
and-
Only
Because
real
you're a fucking
Americans drive
communist.
Fords. Yeah.
You probably love Obama, and then it turns into
Right? No, you're totally
And
right.
then-
But it's amazing.
Oh, you
And-
could write the script for them.
And again, you can hide, and the beauty of it for them is they hide behind the anonymity of the internet.
It's so awful.
Well,
It
you
is.
remember when when Obama won the White House again? The following week, I came in with a story about some crazy bitch from Nebraska.
Oh yeah,
Do you
she
remember
wasn't
that?
racist.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not racist. She was fucking hammered, and does this blog
I kind of remember
every
this.
week, or does this online blog, and was just pissed. Was just
Yeah, and it was like N-word, N-word, N-word,
Yes,
N-word.
and-
But I'm not a
yeah,
racist.
But she was on TV like, I'm not racist. I don't know where you would get that from. And they were reading it
God,
back
is
to her.
that legit? People really think that they're not
No,
racist.
no, but and it was also like you couldn't see her because of where like she hid her face initially on this this rant.
Yeah.
That went off, and it
Oh,
was
she
like,
did a
"You
video
mother-"
rant?
She was screaming and
Oh.
like throwing shit at the election results, and that fucking end, and blah blah blah. And I can't. How can he be winning? And like as angry. And I remember thinking, oh my god, if this just crazy bitch in Nebraska.
And she was so desperate for attention that she went on news programs to defend herself. And everyone was like, I just don't understand why you think I'm racist. And then they played her that this, and then
and she watched it straight faced, saying,
I mean, you could. There was only like 2 words in the whole thing, with and my, that you could actually air. And all she kept saying was, "I just don't understand why you think I'm racist."
Yeah.
and she was being
And
serious.
so the
Oh, yeah.
fact that you're that delusional,
Yeah.
on top of being that crazy, yeah, it's really something.
People are just nuts.
It's really something. And that was the same week that I had brought in everything. And when you talk about the comments, the tweets and the this and that,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that were like frightening, just really frightening, concerning the reaction from people that were anti
people's
Barack
weird
Obama.
reality. Like it's just it's
But and
bizarre.
I tried to look to see if there would be anything like that. I didn't find a ton, and I'm sure that there was reaction when Bush was reelected. or put back into office,
Well,
or whatever you want
there
to
probably
call it.
was. It's just the social media wasn't to the
Right.
level that it is now.
And I also, I
Exactly.
really
Exactly.
just believe, and no one could tell me differently, that it is racially motivated. A lot of the hatred toward Obama is racially motivated. And
Oh, sure it is.
granted, there was, yes, and I say the same thing. Like sometimes I comfort myself when I hear people bad-mouthing Obama, and I comfort myself by thinking, well, I mean, really, I said the same stuff about Bush, so I get it. And if
but
another,
it wasn't about him being a white
but
guy.
it wasn't about him being a white guy. But so that's what I'm saying. But
Texan, maybe.
Yes,
What a
I feel.
moron.
And that's what my point is, that I comfort myself by saying, okay, I hated Bush that much, so
Yeah.
it's okay. I don't
Yeah.
feel bad about anything Obama's doing. But there's a different level to the and I will say, I was listening to some Christian guy. It was on NPR. They were talking about religion and religious liberties and these kinds of things. And it was all in regards to gay marriage. And they were talking to a bakery in Seattle, one of the many bakeries that has been in the news because they refused to
Oh, the Portland
bake
one.
a cake.
The one in
Oregon.
Portland.
Portland, excuse
The
me.
one in lesbian headquarters.
Yeah,
Right.
refused to bake a
Exactly.
cake because it goes against his Christian values, and
Yep.
you can't tell me that I have to support, the devil and this kind of thing. And he
devil.
says, and it was so weird in the same breath that he was saying, I mean, I want to be a good Christian.
Yeah.
But I
But I
can't.
wanna hate you.
But I won't support that. And they're horrible. And it was so weird. They had a guy interviewed during that. They had someone interviewed during that clip, and he said he legitimately was saying, I mean, it's legitimately terrifying as a Christian that we have a black man in the Oval Office.
Wow.
Yeah, I was really bizarre. It was so bizarre, and I just
Every time I think I can't get surprised by something.
as a Christian, it's terrifying that there's a black
Yeah,
man
yeah.
as president.
And if somebody
I'm just
does
gonna
As
hold
a
up-
Christian,
right,
like,
and I say,
what does
I'm
that
just gonna hold up
mean?
this Bible and say whatever horrible thing comes out of my mind, and you
In the
have
name
to
of
forgive
Christ.
me, and you have to forgive
What
me.
does
just
that
gonna
mean?
hold up this cross and burn it.
Yeah.
Is really what it
like
is.
the whole way home,
for
if I
real.
wouldn't have been driving, I would have posted
Yeah.
some really inflammatory comments on social media just because I needed to share it.
Yeah.
But fortunately, I had a long drive ahead of me, and so I calmed the fuck down.
Yeah.
But I was
Yeah.
blown, my mind blown.
Yeah.
Mine
If
crazy.
you don't want to agree or you don't want to support or whatever, fine, don't. There are things I don't agree with and I don't support.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. But please don't throw religion behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't hide
Yeah,
behind all
just,
that.
just admit it. You hate people.
Yes.
If
You
because
hate
I'll
gays.
say,
You think
I don't like this. or
And that's
I don't
exactly
this
like
about
the
it.
baker. You think gay sex is weird. You don't really like gay people. You don't know any, and it's just weird and uncomfortable for you. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. But don't make it religious.
Yeah.
It just we'll throat punch you.
Yeah.
Don't invoke
Absolutely.
the liberal hippie. Yeah.
Well,
Sorry about that.
Well, no, that's all right. No, the transition that we're going to make
Hijacked headlines.
between that story and this one is because it is an online thing. You being in a relationship, and you apparently are, and there's a child somehow created
And
from
chocolate.
that.
And chocolate. The real relationship is with chocolate.
One of the stories that's come out that discrimination online is killing. It could be killing all sex, but this particular story is singling out the app Grindr and the fact that it's killing gay sex. According to its inventors, Grindr was actually invented to make socializing easier, according to them. Basically, what the app is.
Socializing.
Well, what they say what the app was is if you didn't know somebody, if you were out at a bar, didn't know somebody, and you saw them online, you would find a few things out about them, maybe some of their interests, what they liked, if they liked hiking or biking or music or what have you.
Cocksucking.
It would give you enough information to strike up a conversation
What
with
they
them.
like to wear.
But however, typical to any the science movies and the technology movies, any good, wonderful thing that is created by man gets into the hands of regular people, then it all just goes to hell and it becomes bad. So what they're saying is that because of apps like Grindr and other dating sites where things are really, the people really drill down what they want. Like, for example, somebody might say they want no Asians, nobody over a certain age, nobody
yeah.
of certain hair colors, masculine only, all these different things.
Oh yeah, no
What-
femmes. They don't
what
say
they're
masculine
doing-
only. They say no femmes.
What they're doing is they're really weeding out the possibility of talking to anybody, period, unless they literally have the exact same matchups that you do. Now, what I
You're
was
looking for your twin.
no, so what I was thinking of was something that you brought a comment up about. We were talking about the Olympic Village last week. The fact that they ran out of condoms because you're putting people that are exactly alike in the prime of their life, in the best physical condition they're ever going to be in. They're all beautiful. They're all flexible. Blah blah
And
blah
how
blah blah.
sexy you feel after exercise, or after like when you're physically fit,
Right,
you
when you're
just
there.
generally feel a little bit. None of us would know, but
All you have to do is whatever time that is, Clayton, go ahead back and look, just kind of zone in on my face. I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck
I'm eating Reese's, so
I'm having a lemon berry shandy.
Yeah.
Is that this excites
clearly
me?
this is all theory to this room.
No.
But
Now, according to what Grindr says,
exhausted.
the 1% of Grindr's sexual economy looks like this. They're white-skinned, has a weight that begins with a 1. I'm out. There's a 1 in my weight, but I just pick a digit, which one it
it's
is.
like the Price is Right.
There's only 3
Where does
digits.
the 1 go?
Right. He's in his 20s, completely able-bodied, full head of hair, and he's either slightly defined or has very defined abs. Has a dusting of body hair, is HIV negative, masculine. That is what, and that's the 1%ers. That's what they're saying. Like on these onlines, that is the 1% of like what everybody, like these people are really looking for. Though there are 100 other sites out there that don't, but they're specifically talking about this one.
So Grindr, you put all that information in.
It's just like your age, your height, if you
Searching
want to, your
for,
weight,
looking for, right,
what
okay,
you're into, what your
profile.
interests. But like the initial way that Grindr was put out, according to what they say, was, I'm into hiking. I like Donna Summer. I like to bike. I like to do this, da da da.
Right.
So that when you could walk across the room because there's a picture of you. You could say, "Oh, hey, I see you're into hiking. Have you ever been at blah 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 mountain,
Right,
or
'cause-
whatever,
and my thing,
bareback mountain, or
Yeah,
whatever."
yeah.
it is."
And my thing
Exactly.
with this is I
Yep.
don't like I don't know, like I've never done an internet thing. Like I don't really understand it, because to me it's all about like the generics of it, and no one cares what
The
you're interested in. They
anonymity,
just
yeah.
care about like the look.
No, that's what
like,
this
you're
is
not-
really saying.
So I don't really want to go and meet someone who's only into like how they look. Like you go have a relationship with your mirror.
right.
Like,
No,
'cause that's
totally
that's
agree.
yeah, like you're not
funny.
interested in in anything but how anybody else looks. So that conversation's good. We're going to talk about diets, which I've done enough with gay men in my life to never talk about a diet again as long as I live.
But if the whole thing is that you can, because I guess I did not realize that part. Like, no. Let me rephrase that. I knew that you saw a picture of whomever it was. Like,
Right.
oh, this person wants to
And
talk
that's as
or
far as
something.
anybody goes now. No,
But
it's like
if
there's someone who likes cocksucking that is in close
Right. But if we're in the
proximity.
same building, and all of a sudden I go, oh, okay, that's rude.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because
But
that
that happens
happens all the
all
time.
the
in mine.
time.
But people
It
that
must
are
happen
people
all
that
the
are on
time.
Grindr and you see
horrifying.
it all the time. They don't go like, oh, he looks nice. Let's see what he's interested in. They're like,
Sure.
oh no,
Right.
no, too tall, too short, too fat, too
Right.
this, too
too
that.
old, too whatever.
There's another website
I
called
didn't know.
Tinder that's a straight dating. Not, I guess it's a dating thing, but it's almost like a deck of cards, and you hold your
yeah,
phone.
yeah.
Go fish is what
Yes.
you play on
Really,
this.
and
Kind of.
a picture comes up, and you swipe it to the left if you like them, and you
Yep.
swipe it to the right
That's
if you
right.
don't like them, and that's all it is. And I don't know how you actually ever connect
Right,
with
there-
people you
and there
like.
was a website
but
that-
it's like a fun game. You just go. It's all just pictures. You see nothing about the person. You're like, don't like.
But you don't know how to meet them. Like
I-
they're
there is
in
a-
the
And then
room?
you get a
No, they're not in
rating,
the-
and then you get a rating, so that this person has 90%
90 likes, right.
Right.
based on the picture. And there
So
was a
she's a whore.
website, I don't know if it's called Adam for Adam or Men for Men or something like that, that my old roommate Shane used to be on every single night, and he would only he liked the ones that said A and F type,
Abercrombie and Fitch.
and I'm like,
Yeah,
what, like, and that was
Yeah.
like,
that's all they wanted.
okay, that's the only one you click on is if they say that. So that's all they have to do is say that they're an A and F type, and you're in and wear those goddamn stupid Puka shells that made you look like
Oh,
you were
that was such a bad '90s thing.
on the slow boat to China.
2000. That
That's
was a
right.
2000
I just
thing.
got back
That was the
from
bad
Hawaii.
90s things that
Yeah.
lived into like
Into the
2004.
You just got
Yeah.
back from Hawaii? No, Abercrombie.
Right. I said, if you can't see a beach, take those fucking things off.
I was at the mall just today.
Yeah.
Oh, those are the most embarrassing things gay men ever did as a people.
We are into the end of hour one. Hour two is coming up. The drinking game, our disclaimer coming up in just moments. We have a few more headlines. Al is going to go through all of the entertainment news you'll ever want to know about the Golden Globes and so much more. I'm going to get another beverage, but we'll be back on the other side of this break in just mere seconds with the rest of the show on Q Talk America.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Well, good evening. It is 8:03 on the atomic clock on the old wall. Thank you, Joe DeGanzik. It is a Tuesday night. Studio C is where we are. You are listening to The Show on Q Talk America. My name is Clayton McKee, your humble host, alongside Katie June, Marnie Ryer, and that's Al Perkins. Al, what's so funny?
I was just Googling our drinking word, and the sentence that came up just fucking kills me.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
It says it all.
well, that is just as timely as anything we could possibly have. So I think it's time that we do our drinking disclaimer here on the old radio show, and we'll start that right now.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck. Good luck.
Well, our drinking word is going to be Puka shell to express our distaste for anything that comes up later.
That is really Puka shell.
So I wasn't.
So could you use it in a sentence, please?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is I wasn't sure how exactly you spelled Puka shell.
Okay.
Thank God. So I put in an incorrect spelling. I spelled it Pooka,
Which was what I would have thought.
and it corrected it to Puka, which from the
Puka.
word puke.
Puka.
And it says Puka shell necklace, Walmart, which I think pretty much defines the evolution of the most shittiest piece of jewelry
Not only is it bad, it's a discounted
that
bad.
has ever adorned
funny.
a gay man's neck.
We'd like to
Are
also
we supposed to hurry?
for what? Oh no, sorry.
I just wanted to make sure.
Caution, Puka shell ahead.
Want to say no? That would be this.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd like to say hello.
But
to
I would put that on Grindr. Absolutely no
Puka shells.
Yeah,
Butch acting, straight acting, no puka shells.
yeah. No femmes, no
New
puka.
Zealand, Canada, hello, welcome to the show on this
Hi
Tuesday
there.
night. Join us in the chat room and let us know where you are, what you're doing, because we'd like to hear from you if we can.
It was Tomo earlier.
Tomo
Tomo was on.
Tomo was okay. I didn't see him in the chat room,
Hey,
but I
Tomo.
just may have missed it. Marnie, is it you or me?
You.
Is it me?
Yes.
Well, my God, this is Al. I find stories because I know that you like to keep up on things. So I thought, well, we'll do this one. New York City is the dateline. Empire State Building sues over topless photos. After serving 6 years in the Army, photographer Alan Hinson says that he's not afraid of the $1.1 million lawsuit filed against him by the owners of the Empire State Building for taking pictures of a topless model on the building's popular observation deck. He says, quote, "You can sue me all you want, just no RPGs, please," which are rocket-propelled grenades. Hinson told USA Today, RPGs are what it says, rocket-propelled grenades. The owners claim that Hinson's damaged the building's reputation as a safe, family-friendly attraction when he took photos of a model in August of 2013. They say Hinson never asked for permission, and if he would have, he would not have received it. He said, "I think that the building owners are being bullies, and they aren't in touch with what's going on, but they are involved with so much litigation. To them, it's just another lawsuit. I don't think that they take this seriously either." Hinson, who was 29, said that he is miffed at the owner's claims that he took the photos of the self-styled Boobs Around Town project while the deck was packed with visitors, including kids. Hinson said that he took the photos with his phone when no kids were around, and he said that they have no commercial value. He just posted them on social media. Apparently there is a project, and I'm guessing it was for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is October. It was a project in New York City called Boobs Around Town, where actually models were all over town, and they actually show pictures of a topless woman with two New York City
Googling this.
two New York City cops. You say that like I'm lying.
No, I just want to see it.
She wants to see some movies.
Oh, there's that. Henson said he started taking photos in public places, including Central Park, last year after hearing that going topless was actually legal, which I had not heard that. It was a social experiment, he said. When I heard that it was legal, I thought, really? Well, on paper it sounds great, but I wanted to see how it would work out in the real world.
That's funny.
So anyway, the day he took the pictures at the Empire State Building, Henson said the shoot drew little interest from tourists on the observation deck, who were actually more interested in the view of the city than they were from the view on the deck.
That'd be me.
Yeah. Wow. Look at that.
They have
That's
like
fantastic.
boobs at a sushi restaurant, boobs on the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
Boobs with the cops.
Yeah. So see, boobs are everywhere.
Boobies.
Boobies.
Lot
Literally.
of boobies.
There you go. Go ahead.
That's fun.
Ms. Ryer.
Well, there's a house for sale.
Locally?
Well, I would like no. There's not. Aaron's house is not for sale. It's slightly haunted. This house.
Okay.
Oh, I think this is SNL did this story a couple of weeks ago.
Did they?
Yes.
I just found this and I thought it was fantastic.
Okay.
In Pennsylvania, a man was trying to sell his home and said that it has the original hardwood floors, new molding throughout, a large picture window, and the sounds of phantom footsteps.
Apparently, that's the original owner's there too.
Apparently, we're not
Original
sure.
owners available for questions.
Please submit them in writing.
Or a candle.
Or a candle, right.
Ouija board's optional.
Exactly.
Dab twice.
Exactly. Try to be familiar with Morse code.
I'm not, obviously. It will describe the home as 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. Sounds lovely so far.
yeah.
Off-street parking.
Yeah, it's
Very
nice.
Freshly painted. We appreciate that. New molding throughout the entire first floor. Apparently not second. Slightly haunted. Nothing serious, though. The example, the sound of phantom footsteps, a strange knocking sound, followed by a very quiet, hardly noticeable even, scream at 3 a.m.
Oh, gosh, really?
Maybe once a week. Yeah, twice a week tops.
Like,
Scared me. That actually
God.
scared me. I looked down and I was like, oh my God.
that
I thought it
was,
was
yeah,
haunted.
freaky
That was
deaky.
good. I
Thank
like
you.
that.
Not sure if it
Yeah.
was worse that I thought he had a button ready with a scream, or the fact that came out of his person. That was like the Puka shells
But
of
he also,
noises.
remember, he also did Carol Channing for a very long time that one
Which
night.
was
So.
super great.
Speaking of partially haunted,
And the occasional ghastly visage lurking behind you in the bathroom
ghastly,
mirror.
not gassy visage.
Ghastly,
Not a
I
fart.
said.
Okay, it sounded like you said like a farting.
Well, they are in the bathroom.
There's a person.
you're
farting
having
behind
trouble
your
hearing
hair.
her
I am.
today.
Apparently. Even still, this occurs very rarely and only in the second floor bathroom. So I get, in selling the house, it's
So
only
we're-
$144,000.
And this is relegated only to the second floor.
Apparently,
Which is probably
yeah.
why there's no new molding, because nobody would go up there to
Nobody
install it.
wanted to get up
Yeah,
there to
screw
put
that.
in. Or they tried to, and the ghastly
Right.
gassy.
Visage.
was like,
The
no.
gassy visage.
No molding.
No moldings, yeah.
Yeah, that.
No Puka shells in the house.
Really good.
So I just thought that it would be very fun, and I had wanted to look this up. So I'm going to do the whole Zillow search while you go on.
do
I
that.
love Zillow.
Do that.
It just made me laugh. The fact that I can't find it.
Is
Damn
it Cecily?
Oh, no, here it
Cecily
is.
Strong? Is that her name? The new anchor on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, I'm not sure.
She did this story. She goes, a really haunted house is being sold by a slightly deaf man.
That's awesome. Just don't, whatever you do, if you're out there and you're in the PA, don't go to 1217 Marion Street, Dunmore, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
18509.
That's near where my mom and Matt Rotzka are from.
Is it?
Yeah, Dunmore.
Oh.
Right in the same
don't go
cluster of
there.
shitty towns.
Now-
Not shitty towns, they're lovely.
I wonder if maybe Ruthie has gone to live in this house. And
Maybe. Well, it's a lovely home. I'm not even.
if they don't make whiskey sours,
Yeah, I
she's
was
going to be
say,
pissed.
She would not be haunting the bathroom. It would be more the blender area of the house.
I mean, clearly.
Wherever
it's
the
a-
liquor cabinet.
It's a fairly lovely home.
Would you
It
show me on
looks
the
fucking
Would you show me on the blender where you
It
were
It looks like
offended?
the house from American Horror
Yes,
Story
that's
season one.
exactly-
I was
what I was
actually
thinking.
going to say it looks like the one from Despicable Me.
It looks scary McGarry.
Kind of
to
looks
me.
like Despicable
Scary
Me.
Mc-
Nothing
Gary.
good's gonna happen when you have like a turret. What are those things called in the top of the house?
Yep, that's
Oh,
exactly. That's yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
That's where Anne Frank is
Ga-
kept.
Garrison. kitchen
this
or
is
turret.
beautiful.
Oh, it does look
Oh,
lovely.
it's lovely on the inside. You can
Now-
just
Just
see the
don't take
fresh
that-
blood
Can I-
dripping down the
Just
walls.
Now,
terrifying.
may I tell you, if I've not already done so, may I tell you the story about this house when I moved in?
Beautiful. Okie dokie. So that wasn't
No,
you
Lord.
screaming.
Yeah.
No, this is a cute. I think that's a cute story. And it never bothered
Oh,
me.
yes, you did.
I've told
Yeah.
you the story.
Yeah,
exactly.
I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, when I moved into the house, now let's go back to this. The house was built in 47, burned in 51. That's when they did the add-ons to the house and everything, right? So the original owners that were there, I don't know exactly what year they left, but I found this out from a woman. One day I was out working in the yard. And she drove by, stopped, and she says, "Do you live here?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And she said, "Well, I grew up in this house. I was a little girl, grew up here. In fact, this was her bedroom because the window that's behind that." She's dead now. No, she and her girlfriend, the little girl that lived next door, used to talk between the windows.
Yeah.
So we went through the entire house and blah blah blah, and she said that her father, like her mom had passed away, but
Was it Audrey
her
Rose?
father lived here. And I said, well, you know what's interesting about it is I said I feel the presence of a man. I said, and I've seen out of the corner of my eye, like going around the end of a room. I said, and there's a dog here. She goes, okay. She goes, well, that's my dad, and that's his dog. She goes, I'm betting you right now. She goes, that's just him. She goes, he loved this house so much that because he remarried and then moved to Denver and died immediately after getting to Denver. Oddly, she said he never wanted to leave this house and fought his new wife to, like, I don't want to leave. So she convinced him. For whatever reason, he went to Denver and then passed away. So his daughter said he wanted to be in this house so bad and he wanted to protect this house so bad that he just came back.
He came back.
So she said, here's what I want you to do. She said, the next time that you have that feeling, and there was never any threat, it's just I felt the presence. And out of the corner of my eye, I could see, at one point there was a couch in the back room. I saw somebody sitting on the couch. I swear I did. But clearly there was nobody sitting there.
Right.
So she said, well, next time you have that feeling, just tell him that I said it was okay, that you've got the house, you're taking care of it, and everything will be fine. That's the last time I saw him. I actually walked
That
through the
is-
house and I'm
Isn't that
like,
cool?
hey, I'm here. I live
Total
here now. I'm
chills.
taking
Yeah.
care of everything. And never again did I have that feeling.
That's so crazy.
I thought that was,
I
it was
totally
cool.
believe it.
You
Yeah.
evicted him from your son's house. That man was happy here.
Oh, he let him get
But
out
it
of
is.
Yeah.
I
you know.
believe it.
But it was,
cool. Yeah.
I thought it was very cool. Well, Al, this one's for you, and it involves two things that are your favorites. Let's go to Florida. Oh, the puka shells of America.
They really
the
are.
puka shell of America.
Of these United States, and it involves another thing that's very dear to your heart. No,
Taco Bell?
no pun intended. Butter.
Oh.
A pregnant Florida woman punched
butter
her
is
roommate
good.
and hit her with a cane for leaving butter on the stove. This, according to this audio from GeoBeats.
Yes.
I almost did this.
In the heat of an argument between two people, anything can become a weapon. A pregnant woman in Florida was arrested following an argument with her roommate that turned physical. 24-year-old Jennifer Fagley allegedly flew into a rage after she discovered her 59-year-old roommate left butter on the stove. It didn't take long for Fagley to become aggressive. According to the victim, Patricia Marson, Fagley, who is 6 months pregnant, struck her in the head so hard she fell to the floor. The fight didn't stop there. The pregnant woman pounced on Marson and pummeled her in the chest numerous times. At one point during the assault, she also choked the victim and hit her with a cane about 5 times. The police arrived at the shared home and interviewed both women. When they determined Fagley was the aggressor, she was placed into cuffs and transported to Volusia County Jail. She is now facing charges of aggravated battery. Fagley reportedly spoke to officers blaming her rage and violent actions on pregnancy hormones. She also claimed to suffer from schizoaffective disorder and admitted she hadn't been taking her prescribed medication.
Always a sign. Always a sign when you
But-
flip out over butter.
My worry is melted butter is delicious.
I know.
I agree.
And you
Now,
think a
maybe
pregnant
there
woman
wasn't
would...
any bread.
Exactly.
I don't know, but I actually...
Put a little pepper and some
Unless that
seasoning
bitch
in
left
there.
that bitch just
No.
left a stick of butter.
No, that's
on the
my
stove.
vision is it's on a plate. She left it sitting on the stove like you would do
And now
just
it's
to
running
soften
everywhere,
it.
yes.
Right, that would
Like
be
you
my
do,
assumption.
like you do.
But I don't know. There were no pictures of the alleged butter left out. But when I heard that, I'm
Because
like,
that'll make it more justifiable to pounce on a 60-year-old woman and punch her in the chest. Rip the
Beat her
puka
in the
shells
head
from
with
her
the
neck
cane.
Now,
and
if you-
shove them down
now,
her throat.
now, Katie,
I'm gonna beat
feel
you with these puka shells.
I want you to feel
Blasting
free to
it.
Google this, Katie, because the woman who was arrested is
Yeah.
pregnant, and you tell me if you would have touched it. Because I'm thinking somebody knocked that up, but
Somebody-
why?
As Tim always used to say,
I do-
somebody hit that 6 months ago.
But I do have to tell you that when I was like 9 months pregnant, like I was about to have a baby, and Kelly bought a new TV, which was
That's not
in
a
the back
metaphor.
room.
You actually were
I
about to
was
have a
about to have a
baby.
baby, and I lost my shit on the Cox communication like technician.
You
on the
told me
phone.
this. You've told us that
Oh
story.
yeah, I was like, I lost it so bad. I was screaming and crying on the phone because like my internet TV wouldn't hook up.
Yeah.
First world problems, first of all.
Yeah,
But
white
it
woman
was
problem.
like
Right,
the
but
end of
still.
the fucking world. I think at one point during my like blithering tears, I actually said, "I'm pregnant. I'm so sorry," and I just kept screaming. And he was very
can't
kind
stop
to take it.
screaming.
Yeah,
And I still, in a
So-
stranger events, I still have Cox.
it's true, and they're actually quite helpful.
Yeah.
but
They're
but,
lovely now. They're scared to death.
They're quite helpful.
but I think it. I
Because
mean, like,
DirecTV's Obama hating Nazis.
I mean, some of those pregnancy hormones. Now, I don't know if I would have beaten an elderly woman, over butter. But I was pissed about.
I like
She
that
got a Cox t-shirt on.
No.
Open season.
I like how you question yourself on whether you would have beat her or not.
Maybe.
I don't know if I would have. Yes, you
I
do.
was like, it literally is. You're a
Let's
little
go
out of
with
control.
no.
Yeah.
Let's go with no on
6
that.
months,
Maybe not.
though.
I'm going to go jury's still out.
Got it.
So we're gonna pretend this is a doorbell.
Okay.
Ding dong.
Okay.
Somebody please let me back in. It's really cold. Did you hear about the inmate that broke out?
Oh,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Was it gone 2 hours or
One
something?
of the best
It
parts
was
about the
going-
polar vortex.
I laughed so hard. Mom works in a prison.
Candygram.
I believe you guys know.
Candygram.
Land shark.
Land shark.
Heard that land shark.
Oh my God. Mom works in a minimum, medium, whatever security prison, and so
I hope
thought
she knows
this
the
was-
difference.
Yeah, I just don't. I know
Whatever.
it's not like
Works in a
more
prison.
than that.
Yeah.
But
Moderately patrolled prison.
moderately. But we were laughing so hard about the idea of somebody breaking out. They finally they escape. They get out. How cold is it in Kentucky? Apparently cold enough for an escaped prisoner to decide to turn himself in.
No kidding.
He escaped this facility in Lexington, Kentucky. And as temperatures dropped into the low single digits, they say the man walked into a motel and asked the clerk to call the police.
Didn't go to like a Circle
no,
K or
no,
a
no.
convenience mart and just kind of hang out near the warm hot dogs.
Lexington, a Lexington police spokeswoman, Sherelle Roberts, said that this 42-year-old Robert Vick of Hartford told the clerk he wanted to turn himself in and escape the Arctic air. He was checked out by paramedics and returned to this correctional complex.
Frostbitten fingers and toes. Am I correct?
They did not say that. They did not say it was.
I heard he was actually injured from the cold.
He absolutely could have been because after 5-10 minutes, you truly can be.
He
absolutely
forgot to
screwed.
grab a parka on his
He
way
sure
out
did,
of the prison.
because
As
when
he's
he
running.
broke out, he would have been dressed in prison-issued khaki pants, a shirt, and a jacket when he escaped. But that's it. I mean, just a light jacket. The wind chill readings.
members only.
Right.
That's where they keep them?
Yeah,
the,
exactly.
The wind chill readings were 20 below zero Monday in Lexington. So it's no doubt that anyone.
And it's dipping down again. Like I think as of like right now, it's dipping down again.
I mean, that's
over like Minnesota and the Great
really-
Lakes are getting shit on.
Yeah,
They're getting
totally.
the puka shells of weather.
The puka shell.
That is really
puka
some
shit on.
that's some puka shell luck right there.
Yeah,
because
that
if you
is.
actually manage to break out of
finally break
prison,
out.
like
Yeah.
you're like that's tough to do.
and
you
then
know,
find out
it's-
that Kentucky is hell.
Yeah, but at the same time, they have the news going in there. They have the weather. You know it's cold. Touch the cement wall. It's cold.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
good point.
I'm thinking
bad
that
timing
if-
on your part. Maybe
But
like
poor
save
timing. If
save
you're-
those plans, execute them in the summer.
But if you're planning it, if you're really planning it,
Do it in August.
Wait.
If
But
you,
then you figure maybe a lot of people didn't show up to work because of the cold, so the security was lax.
Could be.
Okay.
Now, what
sure.
I didn't-
minimum
No.
ish security was now really
Yeah.
the minimum
on,
security.
on whatever news source I was viewing or listening to or trying to read at the time, I didn't catch all of the things about the frostbite and how he was actually suffering.
either, yeah.
So I just thought that I'm like, well, he just didn't like Lexington. He's like, well, screw this. I'm not staying here. I'm going to go back in.
Yeah, can you imagine? I broke out of prison and I was in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Really?
3 hots
This is
and a
really-
cot. He's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He only has 3 fingers left now.
Got it.
After that, but
Does he know Stacey Lewis?
New. He's learning new ways to masturbate.
he sure is. He sure is.
Oh, wow.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yes.
Probably with a cell
puka
buddy.
shell.
Yeah.
Oh, puka shell.
Well, that could hurt.
Well, it
That
could
might-
leave a, it could leave
That
a
might
puka
itch.
mark.
Yeah.
Mr. Clayton.
Oh my God! Well, another place that's always been a hot topic for things. In fact, there was some news there today going on. There actually another state that could be falling soon in the marriage equality thing. It's New Mexico. Oh, our neighbors to the east
New
over here.
Mexico's going to go fast because they went full on Democratic the last few years, and their governor's pushing for it. Like they've got everybody. That's going to fall from 100 different ways.
Well, a New Mexico woman clad in lingerie is accused of pulling a gun from her vagina and pointing it at the head of her boyfriend. Again, according to this audio from GeoBeats.
Oh, God.
Domestic spats can often become utterly bizarre. Take a dispute involving a couple in New Mexico. The pair had gotten into a verbal argument over their differing opinions on space aliens. After the heated disagreement, the woman, 48-year-old Jennifer McCarthy, reportedly left her home located on Aventura Road in Santa Fe. She later came back and retreated to the bedroom. McCarthy then approached her boyfriend wearing lingerie. According to the man, she also had a silver firearm in her vagina. In front of her partner, she allegedly used the gun as a sex toy while asking him, "Who is crazy, you or me?" McCarthy then pulled the gun out of her private area and pointed it at her 53-year-old unnamed boyfriend's head. Luckily for the man, he was able to yank the weapon from McCarthy's grasp. He tossed it in the toilet, then removed it, believing the trash can was a better hiding place. Police were called to the home and officers did indeed find the gun in the rubbish container.
Oh, for God's sake.
Is that what they're calling it now? The
Now
rubbish container?
Is the rubbish container her vagina,
vagina?
or
Exactly.
the trash?
While you were laughing, you missed the part of the story where the guy was going to flush the gun down the toilet and realized that it wouldn't be good there, so he just threw it away in the trash can.
Well, it wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
But how did it fit in her vagina?
Well, we don't know how big either the
Fucking her's
gun
like, yeah, it's
or...
Really
the vagina.
good
Yeah.
point.
Fucking
That's
her's
a
like
good
throwing a hot dog
point.
down the
So
hallway.
it's
Hello.
Jennifer McCarthy.
Not the
So
same.
aliens and autism similar? What? I don't know what's
That
happening
while
here.
arguing over the existence of aliens.
Of course they were.
And then she comes
Was
back...
this in Florida, New Mexico?
No, and then she comes back and she says, "Who's crazier, you or me?" Well, you got a gun in your snatch.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Can you
so
imagine
bad.
if
And
that
she
would
was
have?
pleasuring herself with it.
Can
No,
you
that's
imagine
ouch.
if that discharge?
Yeah,
If
right?
that discharge?
That's what I mean. Like if she walks in and she's all,
Hey, baby.
yeah, right? Let me just notch this knee.
I'm here to blow up your vagina.
I blowed up your vagina.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, that's
I'm here to
good.
wash your vagina.
Sorry, Charlie.
She's so good.
Oh, Marty Lynn.
Oh, Starbucks. Starbucks is a little upset with a small pub.
Uh-oh.
Is that my house because I'm making all my Starbucks drinks at home now?
No, it's a pub.
Oh,
that-
I read the story.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cute.
yes.
It's real cute. The pub came up with a beer that is vanilla and coffee, and put it together. And a patron called it a frappuccino, and they apparently can't spell, so they spelled it differently,
different than
like
Starbucks.
one letter off. But Starbucks heard about it.
Oh, get a lawyer.
Get a lawyer. Well, they have a lot of
They're
them.
like
And
Disney,
a, and a
right?
cease and desist.
We're gonna
order.
we're gonna puka shell their life.
They have, I'm gonna puka shell the hell out of you.
That's right.
So the small business owner gets this letter from Starbucks, as you said, a cease and desist order.
Mm-hmm.
And he returned the letter with his own letter, a satirical letter, and a check for
It was-
$6.
I read the letter.
Yes.
It's so funny.
Oh, I
It
heard
is.
this, but I didn't read it.
We're getting ahead of ourselves, it says in this. So basically, this Exit 6 pub and brewery, which is in Cottleville, Missouri. Do you know where that is?
I do
Cottleville?
not. Coddle, C-O-D-D?
C-O-T-T. Cottleville.
Let me look that up.
C-O-T-T-L-E-ville.
By the ghastly visage. Ghastly visage.
It's by where you didn't graduate from
And
high
choking
school.
on a condom.
He,
You're stupid.
anywho.
Yeah.
They have a beer that, as I said, was a vanilla cream and a chocolate coffee ale. The result became this blended coffee iced beverage of a frappuccino.
But it wasn't a coffee beverage. It was a beer.
It was a beer, but
Yeah.
flavored with
Right.
those other things, right?
Right. And so, anyway, fast forward 11 months, and they get this letter from Starbucks saying they have to stop and use the name. It only differs by one letter, and so, but it's phonetically identical. The bar use of the name would cause confusion among buyers. And when I read that part, I hadn't read any of the rest of this. I just burst out laughing. Confusion among buyers?
Yeah.
You're going to walk into a pub and ask for a Frappuccino and think that you're going to get
Right.
a Starbucks Frappuccino?
Never.
This is north of St. Louis, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's about trademark violation. And so Britton, the gentleman who owns the pub, responded. We're poor spellers. Spellers. I thought that was awesome. Addressing his response to the lawyer and Mr. Bucks, he referred to the offending beverage and trademark as the F word so as to fend off further litigation risk. It has recently come to the Exit 6 pub and brewery's attention that there were 3 check-ins to the beer with a very similar name to the F word. Unfortunately, it was only similar to the F word because we were meant to call it the same thing. Luckily for us, we're poor spellers. We just feel awful about calling the beer the F word.
Just awful.
The letter went on. We are bad people. We feel shame. And while Britton wrote that he would stop calling the beer the F word, he also wanted to reassure Mr. Bucks that he and his customers meant no harm. I guess that with there being a Starbucks on every corner of every block in every city, that some people may think that they could get a Starbucks at a local bar. So that was our mistake. The check is in the mail. Britton said he wanted to make these amends, and so in an effort to remain in good standing, he included a check for the full amount of profit gained from the sales of the offending brew. $6.
That's awesome.
They had only sold 3. They had only sold 3 of these beers. And so even someone very inebriated should not find coffee and beer to be confusingly similar. So what turned out was that the lawyer, of course, was for Starbucks, for Mr. Bucks.
Mr. Bucks.
Mr. Bucks.
For Mr. Bucks.
Saving Mr. Bucks.
Right. That'll be coming out next Christmas.
Sure will.
He said that they will not be cashing the check, which very good of them.
Yeah,
good of them.
them.
Considering the Frappuccino costs more than that $6, probably.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
The,
I'm sure
the
it does.
experience prompted this Britton, the owner of the pub, to stop to wanting to produce another beer that he said, tongue planted firmly in cheek, would be called the Starbucks, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Marlboro Honey Lager. That's awesome.
That was my favorite.
I thought that was fantastic.
He went full on corporate horror.
Yeah, I really
With
just
the
kind of want to go to this pub.
All you have to do is add a Disney sprinkle. You got it all.
Yeah, exactly.
I really do. I
A
kind
little bit of Pooh's poop.
Oh!
in a puka shell.
Exactly.
Puka shell.
Puka shell.
That's
I
nice.
Say,
Puka
I
shell.
say we go back to Missouri and we check out this pub.
Well,
I like it.
I don't think I really want to go all the way back that far. Not this time of year.
No.
No, I'll have to
Later.
go another time.
We know better.
Yeah,
Unlike
no-
the
no shit, we know
dumbass, the puka shell in Kentucky.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that wraps up headlines on this Tuesday evening. It's time for the one and only Mr. Al Perkins and entertainment.
Well, there's just going to be a lot about award shows.
Weird.
A little bit about the Olympics. HBO cancels everything. Showtime renews.
Everything.
Showtime renews web therapy. And I can't find the rest of that.
Nothing like rehearsals and preparedness.
Yep, can't remember. There's a few other things. Oh, the SAG Awards are coming up this weekend.
Okay.
So we'll go over some stuff in the Oscar nominations.
I'm going to go get
Puka
a drink. Puka shell.
Okay, so we'll start with HBO, which announced the the renewal and of Newsroom for one more season, and then immediately said it would be its last. So we're renewing you and we're canceling you in the same
Wait, is
press
that
conference.
weird?
I thought it was kind of weird.
There's talks
from
about
what I'd
Aaron
heard.
Sorkin being too busy to stay with it and not wanting to pass the torch like other shows do, where they change showrunners
But
midway
then why
through.
do this? Why do the
Well, they
last
always
season?
said, why was Aaron Sorkin
Closure-ish?
trying to do a TV show when he has so many movie commitments and so much else going on? So there's that. They also said that this is the last year of True Blood.
Okay.
It's the and I can't remember now. I can't think what the other show. Oh, Boardwalk Empire. So they're canceling a lot of shows. And then Matthew McConaughey and the Buy One Get One Free. Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
He his new show.
That's what I like about them high school girls.
True Detective on HBO, which premiered to the highest ratings of a new show in HBO history.
Have you watched it?
No, I have not yet.
Because
I seriously
now
have done nothing
have
but work,
HBO
sleep.
for 3 months.
What? Give it.
So did you like it?
No, Love Has Match.
Did you like it?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh.
I just got it today. I just got the HBO thing today.
Oh, okay.
That's really exciting.
I thought you meant
Sorry.
you had it for 3 months. And like,
Soup.
No, because
For 3
Yeah.
months to come.
oh, very good.
Yeah, so
and-
I need a list of what I'm supposed to watch.
Yeah. Use your HBO Go account.
Okay.
I'll show you how to hook that
Okay,
up.
thank
You
you.
need it.
Oh, yeah.
And that way you can catch up on old shows. But
Okay, go.
so they got rid of all 3 of those, and then on Showtime, Web Therapy, which has kind of been under the radar. It's really literally started off as a web series
Lisa
brought to you by
Kudrow?
Lexus.
Yeah.
It was on
Okay.
it was on the car
Yeah.
Lexus's web. It was on their website.
Okay.
This little thing, and they were. She does therapy in 3 minutes. Or I can't remember if it's 90 seconds or 3 minutes, because she feels that, and then you'll blabber on about anything. So she limits it, and she's a horrible therapist. And there was 3 seasons on the website, and it had Meryl Streep, it had Lily Tomlin.
Yeah,
it's
she got a
all these
lot of
people.
really good people.
And now they've all come in and they've kind of fleshed out the show. Her husband is running a political campaign, but then it turns out he's really gay and he's sleeping with his campaign manager. But she's got to stay on board so he can get elected in a conservative state. And it's very funny. And the millionaire that finances the campaign becomes her lover, and it's just fucked up. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus is her sister. Lily Tomlin is her mother.
Oh my God.
That sounds like a great
It's-
show.
And it all takes place, and they make it for $5 because it's literally everything is done on the
Skype.
web on
Kind of
Skype.
that thing, yeah.
So either it's just her looking at it never opens up to the whole set. So they really only have to do set decor to fill a computer screen.
We could do it in this room.
Yeah, it's very, very funny, but it's so low key. Like not a lot because not a lot can happen because it's just one person talking to the camera and then they cut back and forth. But I guess they film it so that they really are having a Skype conversation. Like the set that she's on is here, and the set that Botinsky, I can't think what his first name is. That is her co-creator, co-conspirator, and almost everything she did. Dan Botinsky. He's just sitting right there, so they can see each other. Like they make it so that they have to watch, and that it's mostly ad-libbed.
Oh.
And it is
So I love that
hysterical.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is on it, and then Lisa Kudrow's on her show,
Yes.
which is cool.
No. Oh, yeah, that's right. She did appear. She was on an episode of Veep.
She was like a character arc over a few seasons, a few
So,
shows.
very funny. So that did. Now Frozen is just blowing the box office out of the water. Here's this. I mean, it's a Disney movie, so it's not that big of a surprise. But no one really thought this movie would turn into like a $300 million bonanza with a soundtrack that knocked Beyonce off of the #1 spot.
No.
Has 2 singles in the Hot 100, and they're already saying that it's going to come to Broadway as fast
Yes.
as
Yeah,
it's humanly
that's what I
possible.
saw that today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like they're fast tracking this.
Can I tell you why I hate feminists?
Yep.
Real quick.
That's an arc I wasn't planning on going to.
Kind of enjoy that.
There was some dumbass feminist blogger, and I don't hate feminists, but I just
Those
hate
kind of?
feminist bloggers, maybe. And she was talking about, she's like, okay, Disney, I know that Frozen, you finally get away from the prince saving the man, because the whole show, there's a really great message about like sisters and love and the whole thing, and you get away from this, but you still are so sexist because have you seen Frozen?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
So
I
there's
have
this.
not left my job.
You're not gonna. I'm not gonna be giving away. There's no plot twist here, but or like big giveaway. But
Somebody frozen?
yeah. The princess, the queen, she has this ability to freeze things,
Yes,
and
it's-
that's the
it's-
whole premise of the movie.
Disney has now raped the Snow Queen. Like
Yeah.
that's what it's from.
Yes, they
It's the
have.
story of the Snow Queen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, she can't control herself any longer, and she's this like prim and proper queen because she's trying not to like turn everything to ice. And when she finally discovers that she's going to run away and live in the hills and just be herself, and she sings this "Let It Go" song, which is one of the big popular songs. It's Idina Menzel, and in the show. And Demi Lovato sings it kind of for the radio version.
And they're both in the Hot 100
And it's
right
a
now.
beautiful song, and it's just a very nice. The girl, the little animated queen, transforms from wearing a queen's outfit and very prim and proper into like her braid becomes a little bit more disheveled and her dress is like a little bit more flashy. And some dumb bitch on the internet was like, you're going to make her a bimbo now and say she's going to let it go, including her
What is she
morals.
supposed to like grow pit
This
hair?
is what some
and
mom
do-
is like.
I mean,
Oh,
that's
it's
the
a French
nicest
movie.
way.
She's going to let it go, including her
called
morals
Puka.
and her sexuality and her
I
bosom
don't
will
mean to be rude
heave.
about that.
And this movie is
gonna
beautiful, and
Yeah.
Palmer loved it, and it was a completely nice message. And some dumb feminist blogger talked about how it was still sexist and still horrible.
Yeah.
And
So-
forgive me,
And she's probably
the
a
comment, but come
communist,
on.
anti-Obama, Nazi.
Yeah, she was literally
And
a
if she
horrible
isn't, she will
person.
be in 5 comments.
Yeah, exactly where I was. Exactly.
I'm sure I'll get my ass
She was
kicked
a
for that
horrible
one,
person.
but that just drives me nuts that they're the same people that get really fucking irritated over the fact that there's a sewer in the middle of the road called a manhole.
Yeah, yes.
What do you
right.
want
This is a
that
person
to be,
hole, damn
cunt?
it.
Because
I know.
a man used to go down a hole. Now anybody can go down the hole, but it was literally
No, but that's a ridiculous. I mean, I took
Yeah.
this women's studies class at ASU, and I had to get up and leave. I was done, and I just walked out of it
Because someone was
it's so-
literally mad about it.
not someone. This was like a lecture room, and there were
Of
too many someones. And had I turned around and been like, A, shave, and then B,
A shave.
when you're done doing that, because you
Suck
hate
it.
men, but you're working at it hard. So I don't know what's happening right now, and I'm confused.
Yeah.
And then now you want a sewer, and you're pissed that a portalet's called a John?
Oh, God.
We'll call it a Jane. Is that your name, cunt?
Yeah.
I mean, it's that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
are you fucking
I'm
kidding
so
me?
with you.
God, that
Yeah,
drives
with
me
you.
nuts.
I'm
The
with
two
you.
things.
That's the part
Too
that drives
far.
me nuts.
Too far.
Too far.
I'm gonna stay on this topic because the 2 things that make me want to stab people in the fucking throat.
Only 2? Somebody write
Seems
this
like-
shit
yeah.
down.
We're gonna limit
Yeah.
today's topic
Okay,
to 2.
okay.
The
In
first
case Tyler's
one
with
Puka
us.
shells is one.
It's not.
Now there's
It's
3.
not history. It's herstory. Shut the fuck up. Learn a
come
goddamn root
on.
word. It's not his story. That is not the complex root of this word. I want to stab someone in the throat. Like, first off, that's just an English variation. It doesn't mean anything. And herstory makes you sound like a fucking tard. I
By the
can't
way,
help it.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I agree with you
Yeah,
completely.
it's just that anytime someone says herstory, I want to stab them in the
Well, no,
throat.
but do it
I mean
correctly.
the tard part.
Winona Judd did call one of her albums that, so that you can get away with.
Okay, but
If you're talking about
but if
Winona
it's-
Judd's album.
but
Right.
if we're and not just that, but I mean, if you're going with a play on a word,
A play on a word.
No, no,
whatever,
but
I-
okay,
And then it's her story.
right,
Right.
Like literally
Okay.
her story. You're
Right.
not trying
It's
to tell
Winona
me that,
Judd's story.
that history is
I
a
think she
sexist
shaves.
word.
Yeah.
I like that just makes you stupid.
I
can't
agree.
help you. And the other one is when people say that dis-ease. I mean, it's in the name. It says dis-ease. You're not at ease. No,
Oh, wait,
you're
wait.
fucking sick. You're not unhappy. Like, you didn't get
I've never
cancer
heard
because
that.
you weren't
I haven't
happy.
heard that one
third,
either. I
haven't
There's a
heard
third
that.
thing that you could stab someone in the throat for.
Okay, good. I'd love to stab people in the throat.
I hope
Yeah.
harassment.
Well, no, that is the correct
No,
pronunciation.
you can't. But it's because you can't say
Her ass.
harassment. Like
Oh.
because when people
is
say
that a
harass,
thing? I say harass.
Is that a
Oh,
thing?
big time. The
that's
Gloria,
annoying.
Gloria
Gloria Steinem.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
I actually like Gloria
The one
Steinem.
who I do too.
Gloria
The-
Borges?
Nope, I like her too. the one who fights all the women's battles. The
Gloria Allred.
Gloria
Allred.
Allred.
Thank
I was
you.
suck at Gloria Allred. Don't like
Gloria
her.
Allred. We'll talk about that for
Oh,
days.
that's ridiculous.
You can't say it's not about whether it's a correct pronunciation or not. It's you can't say it because
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
her ass.
Okay.
Okay,
Thanks,
Her
Gloria.
That's one
Suck
more
it.
one more tard at the table. Now, if there's any gays listening or friends of gays, looking
that'd be
starts
weird.
this. Gays start.
Oh my
gays start
God,
this Saturday.
I was-
looking starts this
I'm
Saturday
excited about it.
with Jonathan Groff from Frozen.
Yeah.
And he's in it, and from all reports, it's getting great reviews across the board as a very realistic depiction of a gay man looking for a relationship, not just hookups in San Francisco.
I
On
watched
Grindr?
some of the trailers and a couple of clips after last week's.
Yeah, so watch this Sunday,
episode.
and
Okay.
I'll find out if I'm off at any point that I could watch a TV show, and I'll try to watch too, and we'll talk about it next week because I've heard really good things about a positive portrayal of gays and bad basketball.
Tried.
And now are we down to the real stuff? Oh wait, there was one more story. So the first award thing, and let me see if I wrote down what award show it was at. But Emma Thompson was being honored at
She was hysterical at the Globes.
She was
I
just
thought-
refreshing.
at the
lovely.
National Board
Yeah.
of Review. Okay, I hate that this thing doesn't do. Let's go to it. National Board of Review gave out their awards, and we got to vamp until I can come up with the right web page.
Wait,
I have a
I
gun
usually don't
in my
vamp
gun.
without a boa and lipstick.
We can get that.
Everyone, cock your gun.
I don't think you can
did
use
that
the word.
come off wrong?
I don't think you can use the word cock. We're gonna vamp till Al finds his shit.
Now I'm actually just enjoying your vamping.
National Board of what?
National Board of Review.
We can all look at my trophy while we're doing this. It's been a while.
I like it.
Oh, Katie and her
Hey.
dancing with the bars.
Just because I'm fat and I can't reach it, can you reach that for me, please?
What, candy?
No.
Oh, why-
I'm not that
why
fat. the flag.
The flag. Okay.
Yep,
it's
just
got a
like that.
holster.
Yeah.
Now you see me? Now you don't.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh.
I'm just wasting time.
Wow.
I was
So-
wasting time.
Okay.
I need to take a
Have you found your story, Al?
Yes.
Okay.
So the National Board of Review announced that it was its winners, its honorees on December 4th, and they give out the prizes in January. Emma Thompson was awarded Best Actress for Saving Mr. Banks, and Meryl Streep and she are great friends. They did Angels in America together, and if you remember when Meryl Streep won for Angels in America, I think she won. I can't remember if it was the Emmy or the SAG that she won. That she stood up and she said, "Oftentimes, even I think I'm overrated. This is not the case now." Like,
I remember
said
that.
Meryl Streep. She said, "This is my award,"
I remember
and
that.
I'm sure that all the other actresses in the category will forgive me for being proud of my work, except for Emma Thompson because she carries a grudge. So they have a very fun relationship, and so Meryl Streep stood up in front of the crowd and gave a very lovely speech about. Okay, so she came up with a prize winner trucker's cap, and it was from a movie. And she laughed and she said, "I'm not the prize winner." She's like, "I'm up here on stage and it's not me winning the prize." And for the next 10 minutes, Streep honored Thompson and her performance. And she did a poem called An Ode to Emma, or What Emma is Owed. Streep was charming, she was funny, she was bold, especially when she dug into Disney. Some of his associates reported that Walt Disney really didn't like women, she began. There is a piece of received wisdom that says that the most creative people are often odd or irritating, eccentric, damaged, difficult, that along with enormous creativity comes certain deficits in humanity or decency. We are familiar with this trope in our business. Mozart, Van Gogh, Tarantino, Eminem, Ezra Pound. I have not met anyone worth a damn who was not irascible. And she was saying that Emma Thompson is not like this. She's practically a saint. And then she said, but she couldn't resist turning to Disney, the man. Disney, who brought joy arguably to billions of people, was perhaps, or had some racist proclivities. He formed and supported an anti-Semitic industry lobbying group, and he was certainly, on the evidence of his company's policies, a gender bigot, she said before reading an actual 1938 letter from Disney rejecting a female applicant to the animation trainee program. And she says, when I saw the film, I could just imagine Walt Disney's chagrin at having to cultivate P.L. Travers' favor for 20 years that it took to secure the rights to her work. It must have killed him to encounter in a woman an equally disdainful and superior creature, a person dismissive of his own considerable gifts and prodigious output and imagination. Game, set, and match. So she took the time to stand in front of everybody and just give a giant fuck you to Disney, who she's worked for, or is currently working for now because they're producing Into the Woods.
Okay.
And so she says in her contract,
This is Meryl.
Meryl Streep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She just got up and she took this whole time she honored, and it was a lovely poem, her Ode to Emma, or What Emma is Owed, because Emma's also an Oscar-winning screenwriter. You know, she's a wonderful writer and gives great speaches because she's so
I've
witty.
loved her since Much Ado About Nothing, which was an old ago movie that I love.
And again, that's kind of Shakespeare.
Yes, but she was in the movie version.
But not a good version of her screenwriting.
I love her.
So she talks about her contract with Disney and all the things about toy rights and all these things, and Meryl Streep's like, these are not contracts I have ever signed before. Like, no one has ever worried about making a figurine of me.
Right.
And so she just went off. But it was a very interesting thing at the National Board of Review, the award show that I always assume is the first one of the year, and it turns out it never has been. So then we get to the Golden Globes, which were held on Sunday, which usually I call these the glad handers. These are notoriously bad award shows unless they completely agree with me, and then of course they are
Like anything.
brilliant.
they
Right.
are brilliant in their choices.
The Puka shell.
But they
Usually, they're
yes,
the Puka
shells of
shell
award
of
shows.
the award shows.
And they really do just pick popular people because they want to be known as the people that let someone who would never normally, like Jim
Get under
Carrey has
Kiddo.
like 7
They're
Golden
going to be
Globes.
popular
Right.
by acknowledging popular people.
Popular people. But this time they really went with some really like for them legit choices. It's kind of like they're sick of being the award. Like I'm not the only person that makes fun of them.
Right.
Even Tina and Amy felt free.
Yeah.
And everyone gets up there and goes, "Oh, this distinguished panel," like because no one knows who they are.
Right.
Right.
Unless you've actually paid to fly
The
them all
Hollywood
to
Foreign
one place to
Press.
win the vote. Unless you're Sharon Stone, who bought their vote by flying them all to New York to see her
That's
movie
funny.
in one
I didn't know
theater.
that.
She's the only person that's ever seen all 78 people in one room because she paid them to come see her movie.
Oh.
And then
then vote for
mysteriously,
her.
she won.
Yeah. Surprise.
Yeah.
Mysteriously.
So-
For Basic Instinct, I'm curious, or for what?
Oh, no. I think I can't remember if it was for Casino, but it did
Oh.
parlay into because many times people were lazy and the Golden Globes were won before the Oscar nominations were even, like the ballots were sent out. So people would be like, well, she was clearly good in that. They
Right,
just picked
right,
her
right.
and they laziness. Because you're busy, you're making movies, you may not have time to go see a lot of movies. So in really big choices, drama actor, they had a chance to have Tom Hanks or Robert Redford, and give hand jobs for crack. They went with Matthew McConaughey and Dallas Buyers Club.
So
Yeah.
glad.
Yeah, so they
I was just rooting for Dallas Buyers Club.
Now, Chiwetel Ejiofor, I still think is the lock for the Oscar, but the competition is tough because Matthew McConaughey's making a good show of it. Best performance in an actress drama, Kate Blanchett winner, and I have to say,
How classy is she?
I really
I
don't.
missed her whole acceptance speech.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Like I went to the bathroom.
She's just classy.
She is
everything
a
about
very
her.
classy lady and one of the most talented actresses working. It's one of the best performances of the year.
Okay.
But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the best actress race just all these movies came out with truly lead performances, and any of the 10 women, almost all the 10 women nominated, should be nominated for an Oscar, and any other year would probably win because it's so rare to have such strong female
Who
characters.
do you think should not be? The
the only one that I think won't get a nomination is Kate Winslet for Labor Day, just because
which I
it's,
really want to see.
right, but it just hasn't been seen
yeah,
by anybody.
yeah.
And all the movies
Yeah.
look great. And I agree with you that every, like, when I was watching even the Golden Globes, and they said, this actress is nominated, I thought, oh, I want her to win.
Yeah.
And like, this actress,
Right,
I'm like, oh, I
right.
want her to win. I
Yeah.
did,
You want everybody to win.
So
all
now,
of them.
curiosity though, there was one question I almost text you, which I'm glad I didn't because you were at work.
And my phone was off. I seriously did complete radio silence. That was very hard to have
Sure, I
no
can
phone,
believe
no
it.
internet.
I can believe it.
I was like looking at pictures on the walls.
Okay, so you may have said this, and I apologize if I just did not listen to you. But
Wouldn't be the first time.
well, I'm just saying,
Okay.
what Oprah wasn't mentioned once,
No, and
and the
no,
butler
we're talking- but because
wasn't
this-
mentioned once.
I wondered.
no, remember? Well, we talked about this like
Can't
3 weeks
remember.
in a row.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah,
because
this is the award show that seriously just strokes celebrities.
No, I
and
got
for them
that.
to
She's
not
a
pick
pretty big
Oprah
celeb.
is shocking. But then the legit people picked Oprah. The SAG Awards, which
Right.
is actors voting for
no,
actors.
and I'm with you, and I heard all of that, and I
Yeah.
actually listened. I
Yeah,
promise.
okay.
But the butler wasn't even mentioned.
Right, the butler got shut out of this for some reason.
Okay, because
And
I
it-
got the Oprah part,
And
but
it
I
could
didn't understand
be
the
just
rest.
the way that the momentum is swinging, and that's going to be my
Okay.
next thing.
Okay.
Because Best Actress in a Comedy, and I think this is what's really going to turn the tide, is Amy Adams is coming out of nowhere, 4-time Oscar nominee, never a winner, now is carrying, like she is generally acknowledged to be the leading big part of what makes American Hustle so good, with a Jennifer Lawrence kicker, that Jennifer Lawrence coming off a really hot year, won an Oscar last year, and now
She's adorable.
Jennifer Lawrence and Amy Adams just rule this movie and steal it away from 3 Academy Award nominated actors and just steal it. Like, it's them. It is a movie about those 2 women, and everyone else is just supporting them in a rare turn of events. So I think Amy Adams, now with this win, has locked her. She gets the 5th nomination.
Okay, I was telling Aaron that I was that cracked me up seeing her up there. Because I've seen her in so many different things, and she really is
And
spectacular.
she gets
I
nominated
really love her.
constantly, and she's won a
She
couple
really
times. I think
is
she
spectacular.
she's won a couple times here and there, but always in the off category.
Sure,
So if
sure.
it was a year that it was the drama actress won, she had won the comedy.
She's
And
going
I
to be
can't-
up there with Meryl Streep.
Yeah,
going,
I would have to Google it, but I think she's going to take the spot that everyone assumes is going to go to Meryl Streep. I think Meryl's out, and it's gonna be. My predictions are for Thursday morning: Sandra Bullock, Kate Blanchett, Judi Dench, Emma Thompson, and Amy Adams. And I think Amy Adams' stock rises this Saturday. Like Thursday, I think she gets the nomination, and I think when she has a chance of winning on Saturday at the SAG Awards.
Because they campaign, they continue
right, but
to
it's not
campaign
about the campaign. It really is the momentum of this movie. This movie has already made over $100 million without nominations out. It's made it all on how good it is, and the word of mouth is going. And remember, I told you when they previewed the movies, the critics weren't allowed to do it, and all the tweets were just about, we don't get this. We thought it was going to be a drama, and it's really funny. And we thought it was a Christian Bale movie, but why are we loving Amy Adams and Jennifer Lawrence? So the tweets coming out from the industry, from the screener, were all about them.
Sure.
Intriguing, and people are... Well, and I thought it was funny, though, when Leonardo DiCaprio got up and said, so thanks for this comedy award.
But again, like I said, I think that movie is legitimately 3 hours funny. Like, I laughed
but it's
for the
cool
whole 3
they're
hours.
intriguing people through it.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
But seeing
Keeping you
it
guessing.
with Amy Adams, all I can picture is her doing the muskie.
Oh, yeah, from Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Drop Dead Gorgeous. And if you haven't seen
God.
you have to. And she was the cheerleader in Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Yeah,
one of the best movies.
Accidentally pregnant.
Yeah, right.
Can't quite figure it out.
Accidentally pregnant.
And I mean, her boyfriend,
like, can't figure out that she's telling him
Right.
she's pregnant and it's his. Like, just never gets that.
Nothing.
Yeah,
but it's hysterical to see her, to remember that.
Yeah.
And then to see her
and coming
now,
forward
just
into
amazing.
and what it's probably going to be her 5th Oscar nomination. Like,
That's
just
fantastic.
amazing. So I think Matthew
pretty put
McConaughey,
together.
Robert Redford, all is lost. Please do not let his name be read on Thursday morning. I will be so pissed off.
Wait.
But he wasn't nominated. All is lost. But he wasn't nominated for a SAG, so the odds are with us.
That's interesting, don't you think?
No.
Just because it's who he is.
But I think because this year just all of a sudden got really strong in a year that was not like, there really were limited choices for, like, Harrison Ford, who I thought was the strongest supporting actor nominee back in the spring, is all of a sudden not even in the running anymore for a great performance. So even big movie stars are getting shut out by what's turning out to be a very strong year. So in Best Actor, I think our nominees are going to be Chiwetel Ejiofor, Tom Hanks, Matthew McConaughey, I think, is now a lock. I think Bruce Dern is a lock, and I hope it's Leonardo DiCaprio, and there will be a giant scream at work because I've already covered my shift from 6:30 to 7 o'clock during the nominations.
So funny.
But I think we're down between, and keep spitting, Christian Bale and Leonardo DiCaprio for that 5th spot. So I'm hoping it's Leonardo. And then I hope he finally wins his Oscar. Best Director, Alfonso Cuarón, because what have I said every year since we started every episode? Alfonso Cuarón, Children of Men. One of the best directors going.
You
if
have
you haven't
that.
seen Children of Men, go see Children of Men.
See it, everybody.
This movie is so good. And so he wins Best Picture, and I think it's going to be a split again this year for Director and Picture. I think Alfonso Cuarón wins Best Director, and 12 Years a Slave wins Best... No, Alfonso Cuarón for Best Director, 12 Years a Slave for Best Director.
Okay.
I said that wrong again.
But either way, I knew, you're flipping them.
Oh, there was one more big surprise. So that's it for that. Supporting actress, Jennifer Lawrence, really strong shot now for the Oscar. Sure. And I think she's going to boot Oprah out of her spot. And I think Oprah, who I thought was guaranteed to win.
Yeah, you did.
I honestly think that this American Hustle thing is just going to shuffle everybody out of the competition.
Okay.
Because the movie's that good and the box office is getting huge fast.
Okay.
And word of mouth is so good, including from me. Now the best part, best performance by an actor in a TV series. And I don't talk about the show. I try to force people to watch it, but I'm not. But I get if you don't like him. But Andy Samberg for Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
You had mentioned that it was a funny show.
And it's the one sitcom besides Modern Family that I make sure I watch, and it's on while we're on, and it's so goddamn funny. And not only did it win Best Comedy Actor, which threw him for a loop because he was sitting there. He fully understood what the term honor just to be nominated meant, and was happy to sit there and just have a little bit of glory while they announced his name.
And a cocktail.
When they said he won, you could just see it on his face. Like, you people have lost your minds.
Yeah.
And what's the guy that announced him?
Was from Saturday Night
was
Live.
so much
Myers.
fun. Seth Meyers. Yeah, it was so fun to even watch him. And after
giddy about it. Yeah.
After they won, still, and I tell literally everyone, and it's a funny story. I have another funny story about this, but I tell everyone in the whole wide world that I make all of my entertainment choices based on the wise guidance of one L.T. Perkins. And
I do it based on Clayton.
And so Kelly said to me, I started watching it the day after I binge watched the first season, and Kelly's like, oh, are you watching that? I told you that you'd like it. And I'm like, no. Al told me that I would like it.
Puka.
And yes, I'm watching it and I do like it. I had another friend, Waylon Smith, who we all know, Facebooked me and said,
which is my real middle name.
hey, oh, good.
Waylon Smith?
Oh.
No, Waylon.
Al Perkins, Waylon Smith.
Yeah.
Wow.
Perkins. And so
T.
third.
Perkins. T.
Al-
Perkins the third.
yeah. So he emailed me and he
Jesus
said, hey, I have a question. I feel like you kind of know theater. Would you be interested in this show? And I'm like, I don't know, but Al T. Perkins says it's great, so yes, do it.
That's funny.
Kind of funny. And
I
I
enjoy
said
that.
something. He's the man I trust my entertainment choices with most.
And it's really a smart way to go.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, though,
You get the Puka Shell Award.
ringing endorsement.
Yeah.
Hysterically funny.
Very, very
really
funny. And it only took
clever.
them like 2 episodes to like gel, and
And
I
then-
love the secretary.
Do you like the Mindy Project?
I love the Mindy Project.
And it's gotten even better and better. And
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
love
but
it
getting
so much.
canceled.
No,
What?
No,
but
that was my understanding.
Not getting canceled, but not getting great ratings. So it may be.
Oh, I
it's,
thought it was getting canceled.
it may be
Okay.
its last. It may
Maybe
be its
TBS
last
will
year.
pick it up like Cougar
Maybe,
Town.
right?
Boom.
Yeah. there
And
you
Cougar
go.
Town came back. It was very funny.
So funny.
I'm
Quick
assuming you're going to have more.
Couple
or
things,
are you?
yeah.
Are you? Okay. I mean, you still got a minute or so here. I just didn't know where you were going with this.
So the other thing that was, and I laughed. So the one award that I kind of agreed with was best original score went to All Is Lost, the movie that I hate with Robert Redford, because no one talks. So it's good that you have a good score.
'Cause that's all there is.
It would just be the sound of oceans
Way
crashing.
to go.
So that one kind of made sense.
That's funny.
And I want to say there was one more thing. No, that's about it. And the SAG Awards are coming, and I'll give a couple of predictions for that, which are pretty similar. And
Being that there's are you doing the 2-minute window? Or what do we have?
Oh, you got a minute.
Well, I thought there were a couple of interesting things with the Globes. When I don't think Tina Fey or Amy Poehler could have been funnier.
Oh my God.
I
I
thought
wanted
they
more
were
of them. I
amazing.
wanted just more of
Yeah.
them.
When Amy Poehler came out as Randy.
the son.
Yes.
That was
When
funny.
she goes, my
my
adult
God.
son from a previous
And
marriage.
I am a fan of The Closer, or was a fan of
Yes.
The Closer with Keira Sedgwick.
And who doesn't love Kevin
Charlie,
Bacon?
Totally. And Charlie was the character who played her niece on the show. Except that's who came out as Miss Golden Globe. It's their daughter.
It's their daughter.
Yeah.
And
she
I
was
went,
on the
oh my
show."
God, yeah. So that was kind of cool.
And I didn't know how old she was. So I forget who handed her a martini to hold. I'm like,
Right.
is she old enough
Is
to
she
have
old?
that?
I wondered that
I
too.
said the same thing. Yeah, I didn't
But
look
she
it up,
was
but I
like
wondered.
adorable.
She
I
really
watched
was.
her after
My
I
favorite
realized who it was. I was
Toads and
watching her.
Dorbs.
When Robin Penn or when Robin Wright
Yeah, Robin Wright.
Robin Wright turned around and I think was just drunk and had way too much
The
tape,
side boob,
the
yeah.
side boob going. And
I gotta Google
the
that.
woman Sochi
Yes, Sochi.
was like, trying to lead her as Miss Golden Globe off, and Robin Wright was like, oh, you're Miss Golden Globe.
Yeah.
And like went to hug her thinking that's what she was doing. She's like, no. Like, it was very awkward.
Yeah,
and
I'm trying to show you
uncomfortable.
out the door, lady.
Yeah, and
not
you're
get up in
trying
your
to-
boobage.
And you're like, I don't know who you are. She was Jacqueline Bisset was a mess, but funny.
And I'll
to me.
I'll Google that during the break.
And the last thing that I had was the fun fact. Did you guys see that? About
Nobody
Michael
liked
J.
that.
Fox?
Yeah, the fun
nobody-
fact.
They've apologized.
The fact that they
and-
did, but I mean I saw
That-
that kind of when it came out, and I went, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
fun fact.
Well, we'll talk more about fun facts. Al's got a couple more things to talk about, and I actually have a question because I want your take on another thing that happened at the old Golden Globes, because everybody was having a good time, but it was a moment that I figured out that somebody made a lot more movies than I ever thought he had.
No.
We'll talk about that and many more things coming up. Also, Katie's got sports and other stuff. A thoughtful vulgarity in just a few minutes. In the meantime, it's the end of hour 2, the beginning of hour 3, where drinking word is Puka shells, or something like that. Stick around. We'll be back in just minutes right here on Q Talk America.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening. Hour 3 begins with us still in Studio C. We are located in the heart of Central Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you for joining us. If you are listening at home, abroad, Brazil has signed in, as well as New Zealand is listening, the United States, and many others. I'm sure several of you are watching us on video. Hello. Thank you. Actually, let me turn this on so you can actually see us. There we are. It's Clayton McKee, Katie June, Marnie Ryer, and Al Perkins coming to you live as we do each and every Tuesday from 7 to 10 p.m. Arizona time. We are the Wednesday afternoon show for those in New Zealand and Australia. We are the Tuesday night show for people in the continental United States.
And Brazil.
And, there's Brazil too. I do enjoy the Brazilians.
Yeah.
I
have no idea what time zone. I have no idea what
I don't
time
care.
zone they might be in.
You enjoy the Brazilians?
The people of the great state.
Thank you, because I was going to say
country of
there's a
Brazil.
whole lot of people are going to say Jared Leto let us know
I'm
that.
just beginning to enjoy capoeira, which is Brazilian jiu-jitsu dance workout, etc.
Oh.
So thank you, Brazil,
is that
for
next
giving
week's
You need a
diet
lot
for
of
you?
sugar. You need a lot of sugar to get through that.
Yeah, somebody take those.
A lot of
please.
potty training is needed for that, I'm guessing, just to
I gotta
guess.
successfully pee in the toilet so many times to get the energy up.
When
You get chocolate for every time.
And a puka shell if I miss.
You're going to wipe with that puka shell,
Baby, you
mister.
pooped in your playroom. Here's a puka
Here's
shell.
a puka shell.
When we closed up hour 2, Al Perkins was in the middle of his entertainment segment. He's got a few things to talk about, and then I have a question for you.
Okay, well, Jacqueline Bisset actually never won anything but something to get her to show up to like an art film festival or a Boston Film Festival. So no real wins and several nominations, and she's been around. Her first movie role was in 1968. So this is a woman who's paid her dues and I think was genuinely, and she was crying her whole way down, that I don't think she was drunk so much as literally struck that someone finally gave her a gold trophy.
I think Robin Wright was hammered. I don't know about Jacqueline Bisset. I think that she was just, first of all, they had her in East Jesus.
Yeah, they really did.
So the fact that they had it
So
timed
so they
to
didn't
like
even-
37 seconds just for her to get
Was it
up
really?
there.
That
Well,
they-
it was
She had
actually-
40
they didn't know
seconds
she
of
was gonna
waiting.
win, yeah.
Yeah, right.
It was actually really funny because BuzzFeed put out the day after the Globes a map of how to get to the stage, and it was just a piece of paper with scribbles all over it. And it was like, here's how you get to the Golden Globe stage.
And then they had, and John Voight, who was an old friend of hers and another 70s movie star, big in the 70s, not done a lot since, that I
Except
watched.
he just won.
He won too for,
well,
for
yeah,
Ray
so
Donovan.
he has done
but
something.
he was in like a side. He was in a box seat up
She
the side.
passed Blossom.
Yeah,
She passed Blossom and got there. Why the fuck was Blossom?
Blossom's on Big Bang.
That's
just
right.
the idea. It was like,
right.
wait a minute. So it was
Jacqueline
very
Bisset,
funny.
right, yeah.
So I just wanted
Very
to make
funny.
sure that she really had never won anything before, and that's a long.
Well, that's very
and
sweet
she said
then.
that she said that through her mumblings that she was up, but the first time that she was nominated was
her best
47 years ago. I think she said 47,
little
48
less than
years ago.
47. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's what she said.
Yeah,
Nominated
I don't
and
know,
never
but
won,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, she
No,
never
that's
won.
what I'm saying. Well,
Yeah.
that was the whole
So
point of my
that's-
last sentence.
Thank you. Never won. By that, and when you said that, did you mean that she'd never won?
She never won.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay. So then,
May have never won,
Yeah, good,
according to what
okay.
I see.
okay, so I just want to go over what we decided last year we really enjoyed, and I hope you're coming over this year for them again. The BAFTA Award.
Oh, absolutely.
Nominations were announced.
We
this
had a
week,
good time watching that last year.
and just due to where it was filmed, Gravity has all of a sudden become a British film.
Oh!
So Gravity leads the pack of BAFTA
It
nominations.
wasn't shot in space?
No, but
Oddly. Okay.
But the funny part is usually the way you get the most nominations is by technical nods, and you have actors. Like, you either have to be in every single sound editing category, or many of your actors are in there. There's only one actress in this movie. Like, some people said George Clooney may be nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
He was in
a
it.
very weak year. Yeah. He floated by a couple times. And then, two things. First off, the joke about he would literally
funny.
let himself
Yeah.
loose and fly away to space
that
to
was
die and be with a woman his own age.
Yes.
Hysterical.
That was funny.
Yeah.
And second, how wonderful was it that Amy Poehler won?
Oh, yeah.
After all these
She seemed-
nominations,
Right. Sitting
Genuinely,
on Obama's lap.
and there's
she was
another one that's
genuinely
just
like
used to
excited.
losing.
Yeah,
Sure.
Now, yeah.
And sadly, and I don't mean this any disrespect, always seemingly playing second fiddle to Faye.
Yeah.
to
always
everyone.
being the one who couldn't quite get there. But that was fantastic that she got there, and she was so shocked.
Yeah.
And her
Genuinely.
show is funny.
Yeah, it really
She's
is.
so funny.
Even
watched
Rob
it a
Lowe
couple
is funny on that show.
And
I
I watched
love
it a couple
it.
times. I'm sure that I'll catch shit for this. The couple times that I've watched it, I'm like,
It's an
I don't
acquired
know.
taste.
It is. You have to kind
Yeah.
of keep watching and get the characters.
I think it's
and
kind
it's
of like
hilarious.
The Office.
Oh, which
little
I
bit,
fucking
maybe.
love.
No,
No,
hold
it
on.
started-
Only because I hated The Office.
And
then now I watch it.
If you started
I love
from
it.
the beginning, if you
Yeah.
started the show from the very beginning, it was too much like The Office. And they
Okay.
did a complete,
And that's where I started.
They did a complete tone shift about 4 episodes in, where it was
Okay.
like, this really isn't working. Like, Amy Poehler can't be playing this dumb.
Right.
Just make her this bright and optimistic. And
Yeah.
and the
It's
best joke
so
on the
funny.
show
Okay.
is that her name is Nope.
Yeah.
A woman, she says
Leslie
yes
Knope.
to everything, and her last name is Nope.
Nope.
That's
You should give it
funny.
another shot.
Okay, I will.
But you just have to wait till they get out of the Office mimic.
Because it really was. It was from
Yeah.
the very beginning. Amy
No,
Poehler,
it's
I want to
good.
know this. So yeah, good. I'll have to do that.
Okay, so we'll just highlights. I won't read everyone, but just some highlights of the BAFTA awards, because they really do come close to the Oscars.
And
quite a few
by the
times.
by, when is that airing?
We have to Google because it's not in this article. I
I
thought it
will
was.
look that up right now.
you
Best
on it?
Director: David O. Russell for American Hustle, Paul Greengrass for Captain Phillips, Alfonso Cuarón Gravity, Steve McQueen 12 Years a Slave, Martin Scorsese The Wolf of Wall Street. Just make those my official predictions for Best Director on Thursday morning. And then Gravity gets a nomination as Best British Film because it was filmed in Pinewood Studios, where they make all the Bond movies. That gigantic. And before I die, I want to go to Pinewood Studios and just wander that place, because it's supposedly like the largest movie studio in the.
BAFTA awards. Oh, this is gonna be difficult for me to get to you unless we record it and watch it maybe on a Monday night, which won't work. Oh no, I can do that. No, it's it actually airs on BBC America Sunday the 16th of February at 8 Eastern.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be that way because I don't start RuPaul's Drag Race till the 24th.
Oh my God,
Oh,
yes,
perfect.
Drag Race. Can't wait.
But that is rodeo weekend, so that may be tough for me to do that. But we could potentially do it Monday night.
Yeah,
If you
okay.
record it.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Okay.
Can I come over?
Publish
after
this-
the
oh my
BAFTAs?
God! Yes, you have
Please
to
do, please do.
bring your own beverage.
Done.
Anyway,
Bring your own chocolate so you know when to go potty.
Like you
Yeah.
do, like you do here.
Done and done.
So I'm just the interesting. So these are my predictions, and they're just coming straight from the BAFTAs. Best Actor: Christian Bale, Bruce Dern in Nebraska, Leonardo DiCaprio, The Wolf of Wall Street, Chiwetel Ejiofor, 12 Years a Slave, Tom Hanks, Captain Phillips. Print that one. I completely agree. And I didn't realize how close these were to what I thought. Amy Adams, American Hustle, Kate Blanchett, Blue Jasmine, Sandra Bullock, Gravity, Judi Dench, Philomena, Emma Thompson, Saving Mr. Banks. Print it. It's done. Behind the Candelabra was released in Britain as a TV movie, as a theatrical movie, not an HBO movie. And
A movie
remember
movie.
that Behind the Candelabra, no one would finance
That's
a movie
right.
about
'Cause it
a
was
gay
so
old
sexual.
man, so HBO picked it up.
Right.
old
so
man.
The
Yeah.
old man.
so Michael Douglas was
man-child.
not Michael Douglas was not nominated for Best Actor, even though he was eligible. But Matt Damon gets in the Best Supporting Actor category for film here and sneaks in and kind of throws
Interesting,
things
yeah.
around. Yeah.
He really was
Supporting
great.
actress again. Oprah Winfrey makes it here.
Okay.
So
As she
Oprah
should.
Winfrey keeps making it into the real ones. She's just missed a couple of weird ones. Just funny. Blackfish makes it for Best Documentary. So I think Blackfish. I really want to see Blackfish win, but the category for Best Documentary this year is really tough.
So interesting. I have a friend from high school that we've like reconnected on Facebook who actually works for SeaWorld. I don't know if I've said this before, but it's just really, and she's a big defender of SeaWorld. It's very interesting to
Good luck
see
with
what
that.
she posts.
Yeah, but did you see that they had the highest quarterly? At least they've stated that they had a super high the last quarter.
Yeah, the one
Was-
before it aired.
Oh,
Because now they're
was
dying.
that what it was?
Yeah, they're
Okay, I'm
they're
sorry. The way that they printed
They
it.
did,
Sure.
and that's what they want you to think. But it was
Okay.
before it aired, and now they're.
This
Now they're
friend of
gone.
mine's really
Okay.
like the few things I posted about Blackfish, she's like jumps right on it, and not in like a harassing way, just like
Okay.
trying
That's
to be
where
educational.
By the way,
misunderstood.
these whales are helpful. Now,
Right.
the SAG Awards have some anomalies in them. One of them is that Forrest Whitaker makes it into Best Actor instead of Leonardo DiCaprio in this on Saturday. I don't think he's going to win, but he's there. Meryl Streep made it on the list instead of Amy Adams. I don't think she's going to make it Thursday morning. Daniel Bruhl from Rush makes it on, and James Gandolfini for Enough Said.
Oh, I loved
think
it.
I think James Gandolfini has a good chance at the SAG Awards of getting a posthumous award.
Because
do.
it's all actors, and they're going to vote for their fellow actor.
That would kind of
And
make sense.
Oprah appears here, and I think I'm pretty sure this is how Best Supporting Actress is going to go in the United States. Jennifer Lawrence, Lupita Nyong'o, Julia Roberts, June Squibb, and Oprah Winfrey. I think that's how it's going to go for the SAGs this year. And then everything
And that's
else.
Saturday, January 18th?
Yes, this Saturday night on CBS. It's usually broadcast
I'm
on
going to a wedding,
CBS
yeah.
and somewhere else.
Well, now-
you can tape them, and it's a fun award show.
Yeah, it
They
is.
are tight. They stay on time. No,
What of the movies, which ones haven't you seen?
I haven't seen Her, which
Right.
has a couple nominations in here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Spike Jonze, which I want to see, and I have not seen August Osage County.
I want to see that one a
hated it.
lot.
My parents hated
Really, I really want to see that one.
The stage play
Nebraska,
was brilliant.
you saw
I
it?
saw it. Very fun.
Yep.
But the June Squibb, I keep calling her Jane, but her name is June.
Yeah.
I really thought she was gonna win until she went on getting on the TV show on HBO about the nursing, about the
I want
the
to watch
rehab
that
facility.
with
It's
Lori
really
Metcalf.
funny. It's very funny. It's a great show, but June Squibb played the exact same character on that show,
okay.
and all of a sudden I
You're
fell
like,
in love.
She
It's
was
not that
in In and Out.
June Squibb.
You're talking
With,
about the
Kevin
elder,
Kline?
the older gal from Nebraska. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty positive. Yeah, that she was in part
I'm
of
gonna
the circle.
Google it.
Like at the
Oh,
end.
I think so too.
Like the one testicle, wasn't she the maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
But
So
that's where. Do you remember In and Out with?
Yeah, with Kevin Kline.
I do.
Fucking
Fuck Barbara Streisand.
yeah.
Fuck
Barbara Streisand.
Do you know how many times I've had to watch Funny
Put
Girl?
your hand down.
She was
sissy
under
boy.
contract.
So that's it for that is all the award show news you need from me.
But
But
I just wanted to ask you in regards to it because I did watch it and
Yeah, she
it was all right. It was quite all right. I honest to God didn't realize how many movies Woody Allen has made.
Oh yeah.
he has made one a year. And sometimes two every year since 1970. I think 75 is when the streak started with every single year.
So is it? How many movies are we up to with him?
46,
49.
47.
No, I thought they just released the 49th movie or something.
Or he's about to release the
Hey,
49th
hands
movie.
in the air. But who's a fan of Woody
Oh my
Allen?
God, one of the greatest filmmakers that's ever.
I
been
enjoy him,
walked
but
the
I don't know enough.
just-
But I also didn't realize some of the movies that I have seen before. I didn't realize were his.
We're his.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But like I tried some of them.
I think
and
he's
I'm
a
like,
weird and quirky, and
He
it's
is.
not my style.
Which I think is why
And,
I
like,
would probably like
And
it
I
if
would,
I got
would
on
love
board.
to hear that from you, but he's made everything from Bergman movies to broad comedies to slapstick to stories about sex
No.
to dramas
I think the
to
ones that
actual
I've
Greek
sat down
tragedies.
and
Like,
watched-
there's-
Yeah.
when people say I don't get his type of movie, there
He
is
makes
no
every type of movie.
Like
Yeah.
Annie Hall.
He made Annie
Annie Hall was one
See,
that we tried to sit through, and I was
And in the
struggling.
70s, in the 70s when I saw that in the theater, I was 10, and I didn't get it, and then I got older and got into relationships,
Okay.
and had a relationship that didn't work with someone that I still liked.
Okay.
But okay, this doesn't work as a relationship, but I really like that I knew you at one point, and that's the point of Annie Hall.
maybe
is
I
that
need to watch it
he
again.
likes her, and he's so delighted that he ran into her, but it just didn't work
Okay.
out.
So my question in regards to that whole thing, aside from just my new knowledge that he's made a million movies and blah blah blah, what did you think of? I love Diane Keaton.
Yeah.
And what did you think of her acceptance speech based on she took it for him? I was hoping he was going to show up.
I do too, but he never shows up
He
for
never shows
awards.
up
The
anyway.
only time he ever showed up at the Oscars, even though he's won, I think 4 or 5, and he's the most nominated person,
Who never shows
single
up.
person in Oscar history besides Walt Disney as a producer. But he is the most maybe Edith Head, but I think in the performance part, he's the most nominated person for writing, directing, acting once. He showed up only after 9/11 to get people to go to New York. They did a tribute to New York, and he finally showed up at the Oscars. And I thought he was going to show up too, because as they were,
Well, I mean, for God's sakes, they gave him a huge award.
they gave him the
Cecil B. DeMille.
Yeah.
And as they were going through the
That's a big
audience,
one.
and there's Mariel Hemingway, who's there because she was in
Yes.
Manhattan. The Meryl Streep,
All of his
Julia
people.
Roberts,
Right,
all of them
who
are
are in his
Diane
movies.
Weiss, 2-time
That's
Academy
what
Award
the
winner.
big thing for me was, like, seeing all of those actresses that
And
were in
again-
there going, what?
And he writes, especially if you like actresses, he writes. There are so
Lots
many
for women.
Oscar
But
winners that are for women.
I
and
looked at it from a very different perspective, from the Mia Farrow perspective,
Right.
and the Ronan Farrow perspective, and like the he sexually abused Mia Farrow's daughter, and then he married her stepdaughter, and
No, it's the same person, and they're
Same
still married.
person.
And 20 years
Sue
later,
Yi.
So
Yeah.
20 years later, they're still happily married.
I was trying.
Yeah.
So it's not too scandalous if you marry her and you're happily married 20
Right.
years later and she's not a Tom Cruise prisoner.
I'm sorry.
And she wasn't
So you're right. And I
before.
actually didn't
There's an
realize
it
that.
factor. There's an it
Because I knew
factor.
that there was this. I knew he was married to Sunyi, but I'm
It's
sorry.
Mia-
I didn't
yeah.
realize that
it's
that
Mia
was she
Farrow's
was.
adopted daughter.
Right.
that
I was
he-
like Googling all these I've
Yeah.
been Googling it for the since the award show has happened. I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was the same person. But regardless,
Not that it's not icky, and not that Mia Farrow's
it's
wrong.
very
Right.
weird and strange.
And that Rowan has all the right to be kind of grossed out by his father, who now it turns out is Frank Sinatra, who was no prince among men
Yeah.
either. But
I
if
just think he's a weirdo.
yeah,
he's a weirdo.
But he is a genius. And if you start with Bullets Over Broadway. This is your way in. Start with Bullets Over Broadway. He's not in it, and the opening argument is between Rob Reiner, who's funny in The Wolf of Wall Street now too. Rob Reiner and
love
John
Rob Reiner.
Cusack are having an argument about can you separate the artist from the man.
yeah.
Can you forgive an asshole if he's a great artist? And it's the whole opening premise of Bullets Over Broadway. And then it turns into a movie that's so funny. I laughed so hard people asked me to move 4 times during the movie because I was literally screaming,
It
laughing
makes
at
me
Diane
think
Wiest.
about, and I get that there is a difference.
But just
But
watch
not
that.
totally, but it
like,
makes
don't
me
go,
think about,
don't go
like-
in there thinking he married someone's daughter. Go in there and just watch it and listen to the argument because he puts himself on screen.
And I'll just say, and maybe this is like an argument against what I'm saying, is that I really like my daughter loves more than anything in the whole wide world Sesame Street. We've talked about this before.
That's right, with
I
Elmo.
love Elmo. I love the character. I like the actor. I love everything that he does. And he's just been like chastised in media and in the courts for having a relationship with like a 17-year-old. And but then you have, Woody Allen, who had a relationship with a 7-year-old.
No.
No.
Not at all.
No.
She was 19.
She was 19.
There's no
yeah, I
child
thought
molestation
18 or
in this
19.
story.
Yeah.
With Woody Allen?
Yeah, it's the like.
Okay, relationship that I'm saying he molested
No, he didn't.
a 7. That's all that I've read.
No, he
Not
didn't
that I'm aware
He
of.
didn't molest a child.
That's literally all over the
No, he
internet.
didn't- he did
I'm gonna
not
send it
molest a
to you.
child.
I'm gonna post it to the website. It's all over. It's
Yeah,
all I
that's-
can find.
No, it's Sun Yi.
That
and-
when she was 7 years old in the attic, there was inappropriate that she has admitted.
Oh, that I never.
Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about.
Of.
This is this whole other
Yeah,
thing that
me
he
either.
molested on Mia Farrow's daughter when she was 7 years old in the attic. It's this whole thing, and they're saying she was so brave to like come out and talk about it.
That I've never heard of. All I know
Me
is that
either.
he had a weird
I know
relationship.
the Sun Yi thing is weird. I get
Yeah.
it, but I know it's like they're
Yeah.
married. I get that, but this is a whole different thing about
and
some
again, not that
7-year-old.
I'm forgiving him for any of his personal things, but he does address it in his movie in the opening scene of Bullets, which is one of the
Right.
funniest movies ever made and one of the most quotable movies with Diane Wiest and Jennifer, her sister is Meg Tilly. Jennifer Tilly, two of the funniest roles ever written for the screen.
Well, I have to find what I'm talking about because I was relating it to like another, like I love Elmo and everyone hates him because, people hate him because of his relationship. So it was an interesting thing to me that they were
But
honoring
watch
him.
Bullets Over Broadway. You will never laugh so hard in your life. It is
All right, I'm gonna Google
truly
it.
hysterical.
So 2 other really quickly, comedians in cars getting coffee. It is a
Love
Jerry
it.
Seinfeld.
Yes.
I'm already
That
on it.
is
I've been
so
watching
funny.
all of them.
Okay, so that's
So
what I was telling you.
funny.
It's this new to me thing that I've been watching that I wanted to tell you about. I thought I was like really proud of myself. It's really, really great. I only watched the Patton Oswalt one today with the DeLorean, and it was fucking
Oh,
hilarious.
I haven't seen that one.
It is so great. And my other question is, Eastbound and Down, is that
Just got
ever
canceled. Just got canceled today.
But
too.
is it something that you've watched? I don't know if
Yes,
I've brought it up before.
I liked Danny McBride.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
It's so funny, and now he's the voice of the new cartoon about the gay
yes.
rapper that gets out of prison. It's a
so
cartoon.
great. Which is Chosen.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that looks really
so
funny. So I don't know if he just left one to do the other or why they're parting company, but it's another one where Eastbound and Down is really funny.
I'm glad you think so because I think it's the best.
And then I want to lead into her sports for just one thing.
Okay.
I was trying to make it
Yes.
entertainment, but it's really sports. So this Saturday, I only caught the one thing, or I think it was Sunday afternoon. The men's figure skating to earn their spots in the Olympics, the American figure skating champions, or the U.S., the Nationals figure skating champion to see. And we only got 2 spots for the men. The women, because of how they placed in Worlds, had 3 spots open, and it was all very dramatic because the favorite came in 4th, and she She apologized to the fans for falling and giving such a bad performance.
What do you
And then
think
they
of that?
announced the team and they put her in it. And they said because the reason they got 3 spots on the Olympic team was because of her, 2-time, I think she was a 2-time past national champion, and she had really been an all-star at the world. And so she had one bad day, and they didn't want to punish her and keep her away from the Olympics when there would not have been a 3rd spot without her. Like, that 3rd spot was because of her. It was unfair to the other girl, but she's only 16. 20's not old to go to the Olympics. It is shitty.
No, the only thing is that if it's because of her that they had a 3rd spot, then she should have come in 2nd. If
Boom, shakalaka.
Oh no! I mean, so I look at it and I was astounded by
But
that
if you
as a
remember
competitive
from the Summer
person.
Olympics, for the Summer Olympics, the girl that won the gold, the vaulter, did not do well.
Right,
And they
right,
brought her
right.
in because they needed a vaulter.
That's
so the
right.
girl that
You're
actually placed 3rd there
You're totally
and got the
right.
spot,
Yep.
it went to her because they're like, we need a
Well, it's
vaulter.
all
So
about
that one
filling
girl
in
was
your
heartbroken.
gaps. Like, you filled the holes. You're like, this person can do this person can do this.
Sure.
And she can do whatever. We're just going to bring her. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and
They
she's
bend
the
the
one
rules.
that does the best in. She did not do well in nationals, but she has been the one that's been the best in the world stage, and that's what they were saying. Like, this other girl's untested. She might choke at the Olympics, where this girl
might.
has only ever
But
choked.
she didn't choke just then.
Right.
No, and I'm not arguing.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
get
it's
it.
kind of that's part of being competitive. I don't know.
It did seem a teensy bit unfair.
Yeah.
But because
somebody
I had watched,
said somebody, that'll go over well. Something about the last time that this happened, because I said, somebody is going to pull a Kerrigan or a Harding on her, and I was not trying to be an ass. I just was,
the last time was Nancy Kerrigan.
And that's it. Erin looked at me and she goes, "You know that, right?" And I'm like, "Nope."
Yep, they put Nancy Kerrigan in.
I did not know that.
Because she had done well on the world stage.
I did not pay
place.
attention to that, but
Yeah.
when she said it, I went.
And she got in because she was
right.
America's sweetheart,
Yep.
and Tanya Harding was considered
That's
too
right.
hard,
trashy,
and they wanted someone better. They wanted a better
And she
representation.
proved it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, Puka show.
But Jason Brown, the male figure skater, on Sunday, he's 16 or 17 years old. He's an odd-looking duck. But he is amazing. I cried through the entire thing. The audience went like batshit, like it was a TV movie. It did not
get to
seem
see
realistic.
it. Okay.
It's you can Google it. It's all over the place. His performance, like an Irish dance in the middle, and he was so masculine on the ice. And I just kept saying that over and over again, how masculine he was. And this performance went ballistic, ape shit, nuts for the last minute and a half, where they start to slow down. And usually they get in like 3 extra jumps because after 2.5 minutes, the last 2 minutes, you get bonus points if you manage to do a triple in the last 2 minutes.
Triple double,
whatever, right?
But any jumps done in the last half when they're tired gets them bonus points.
Okay.
He was doing like flying splits, like Russian splits in the air on ice skates. He was doing triples and quads and dancing.
I pulled it up. I'm so excited to
and
watch
going
it
nuts.
tonight.
And Scott, what's Scott, the little guy?
Hamilton.
Scott
Hamilton.
Hamilton was sobbing trying to announce it. He was like sobbing at how good this kid was. I was in my living room like clapping before it was over, and then he finished
For the free skate?
For the his free skate. My nipples get hard. It was so fucking good, and he came so close to the gold. But the kid that always wins can do a quad, and he got a couple bonus points, and he was first.
So did
after the
Jason
short
Brown
program.
not get
He
to
made
the
it. No,
Olympics?
he
Because
made
they only
it.
take the 2 for the men.
They took the 2, and he came in second, and there was
okay.
absolutely no arguing that he was going because he knew he finished second because the math came up. There
And
was
the
only
third
one
place, the third place guy
Is a
was
big
the
deal.
Arizona guy.
No, he finished like
Oh, I thought he got third.
he finished like 9th. He might have finished third in the free skate, but overall he moved up several places. He was like 9th going in. And he's from Chandler. He was really cute.
Yeah.
He gave a great performance.
I thought
and
they said he
patted the
finished
ice.
third total.
No.
But, okay.
No,
I
not
thought
at
that
all.
was what it was.
Yeah, there's a gal from Chandler that's on the.
Was this swimming?
Nope.
Hockey.
Hockey.
Ice
That's right.
yes.
Hockey.
That's
My
right
bad.
for the hockey, and
So-
so that's exciting.
One has frozen water. One
That's
does not.
right.
So I will. I'll put it on
In
our page.
both?
I'll find the link and put this performance on the page and try to watch it on a big screen.
Yeah.
And just watch the audience. And there's a big fat woman, or it might have been a man. It was a big fat person,
A large
sitting
person.
like directly
He's
in the line of
pretending
the
I'm not here.
camera
It
as
pisses me off.
as he just started going nuts and doing trick after trick.
Yeah.
And you just see her face as she gets closer and closer to the person in front of her, and then she just can't stand it anymore. As she starts like screaming and cheering, and then he does this last spin,
Yeah.
and she's just on her feet, and she's like an ice skating fanatic. She loses her mind.
Okay.
I watched her like 3
That's
times.
funny. I love it.
And
yeah.
she's directly behind him. and then he completely gayed out. Because I'm like, oh my God. I feel like I was watching the movie Camp when they were like, oh my God, it's an honest to God heterosexual male when the one kid in camp comes to audition.
Sure.
And they're all excited because he's straight. And I really thought that. And then he finished and he was like, oh! I was like, oh no.
Oh, crap's a loser.
I was like, he's an actor. So.
Well, that's a lovely transition into the sports segment with
Yes.
Katie June. Katie?
I like it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So this week in sports
And
and
other
other
stuff.
stuff, a judge denies preliminary approval for the NFL concussion settlement. Big time. The Cubs have a new little friend. There's a basketballing viral video that is sweeping the nation. And let's talk about the big O, the Olympics.
Oh, yep.
This and more
In sports.
and
And
other
other
stuff. So this week we're really talking mostly sports. The first thing, which I wanted to bring up because we've talked about it before, is there's all this concussion talk in football, and there was a federal. I'll start here. A federal judge denied preliminary approval of a $765 million settlement of the NFL concussion claims because he said, quite frankly, that it wasn't enough. U.S. District Judge
He himself has
Anita-
apparently had a concussion.
Yeah.
He hit his head on the way to the
asked
podium.
For more financial information from the parties, a week after players' lawyers filed a detailed blah, 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 blah. Basically said, I am primarily concerned that not all retired NFL football players who ultimately receive a qualifying diagnosis or their families will be paid.
Right. So he denied it, but he denied it because he wants it to be a bigger lawsuit.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
When I saw the initial tweet,
I did too.
I saw the AP come across my phone, denied the settlement. I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. And then I saw why. Because it's not enough money.
Not
I
enough
did
money.
the same thing, and when I read
That's
it, I was like,
awesome.
"Ooh, this judge is like, oh no, I need a bigger number."
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
really cool. So,
You're here. I need you here.
yeah, I need you way up here. So really great for the family, for the NFL players and the families of
And
those that
still
have been
not enough to
affected.
bankrupt the NFL because this industry
No.
Still
has
not enough.
yeah.
You're right.
It's never going anywhere. Yeah. Okay, so do you guys hear about Clark, the latest
For the
furry
Cubs?
in the MLB? So the new Cubs mascot, Clark, has been revealed. He's the first modern mascot in team's history.
Clark the Cub.
For the first time in nearly a century, the Chicago
I see.
Cubs have a mascot.
Come on.
Oh, Clark
And
the
here
Cub.
he is.
Adorable.
Clark the
Clark.
Cub. Everybody, you can Google him
I
if you
love
can't
him.
see
He'll
him
be in
here.
every gay pride parade forever as
Hi, Clark.
as
Here
a
he is.
bear.
As
Yeah.
a bear, right.
Here he is in all of his backwards
Everybody with their
cap-wearing
Cubs gear
glory.
on, and their
Yeah.
hat on backwards.
As I'm sure you can imagine,
No
Cubs
offense.
fans are pissed because they say that he's too soft, he's too cartoony, and we don't like him. And why do we even need him?
And then next year he'll be beloved and will be the reason for Christmas.
Right.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably said the same thing about Harry Carey at
Yeah.
the beginning too, but
They're not a happy people.
No,
Right.
but he is designed.
they don't have a championship.
He's designed to help create a family-friendly environment at Wrigley Field and get the youngsters to.
And make the knifings not be the top story.
Yes, exactly.
Correct.
Today in Chicago, a bear was killed. Oh, I'm sorry. It was
also-
Cubby.
No, I'm sorry.
Clark
It was,
the Cub.
it was a Bears fan. Yeah. So anyway, that's happening.
Does a cub shit in the woods? Well,
Ask Clark.
ask Clark.
Okay, so this next story is legitimately hilarious. And I mean, okay, so I'm not talking real sports action here. I like the fluffy stories around sports, and
Yeah.
this is fucking funny.
Okay.
So
Or fluffy.
Well, this next story is floppy, really, if you will.
Floppy.
Floppy. So
Well.
you see these viral videos go around, right? And as of late, I can recall one that was not funny at all. It's this viral. It's kind of a viral phenomenon, totally unrelated to this, where people are punching people in the face, and it's this, and you film it. It's a viral video. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
and
like
it's
not positive.
It's got a name, and I can't.
Is it what, the knockout game?
Yes.
The knockout
Oh,
game.
that's not
knockout.
okay.
Not cool at all.
Really,
Right, no.
really violent. It's people are getting put in jail for it.
It's
now.
really, really horrible.
Good.
This is similar in that people are doing this to others.
Hugging people?
But this is hilariously funny and not at all violent. And this is
Okay.
They're putting
called,
puka shells on them when they're not aware of it.
This is actually called LeBroning. And so what people are doing is filming their friends running up to strangers, pretending to hit them and flop on the floor for no reason whatsoever.
When he tries to get a call, the acting
So
that goes
we're-
on to get a foul called.
We're talking about
That's
LeBron
funny.
Jamesing, and they're hashtag LeBroning on all of these viral videos. And if you remember, we've talked before about flopping in the NBA and how they were receiving big fines for flopping, for like, you hit me. I touch you and you flop
Sure.
back
You
Fly
on the
backwards
ground.
so that the ref
to
will call
call-
a foul.
Well, right, but wasn't that also one of the things? What coach of some basketball team? You could read his lips where he says "hit me," and he runs into the player and spills his drink.
I mean, I would
Oh,
guess.
yeah,
that was to get a timeout.
Right, but it's still, but
Same
equate
concept,
it.
yeah,
Same
yeah.
concept, right?
Same concept. So anyway, this is a new viral sensation. It's called LeBroning. I love it. It's hashtag LeBroning.
I thought it were just people who leave
you-
Cleveland.
Yeah.
So there's actually video.
A lot of that going around.
That's called
There's
LeBreathing.
actually this video that you can Google.
That is very funny.
It's completely harmless. I'd walk up to Al. I may or may not even maybe brush his shoulder, and I'd flop on the
Fall
ground.
down.
My friends videotape me, and we hashtag LeBron it on Instagram.
Yes.
So
That is very funny. I had a friend in high school.
Yeah.
No longer, if 25 years later, if she hears us, but Martina Kontanakis, and God bless her.
God bless you.
Yeah, Gesundheit.
Puka
She went to Hawaii and brought me some back.
Oh, so she doesn't like you at all.
It was the least she could do, literally.
Literally.
We were 16. She
Always
went
good
to
to be aware of what
Hawaii,
the
and all
least-
I got was these lousy puka
Puka
shells.
Yeah.
That made me look like a sad gay man.
She would
From
go.
Walmart.
We would be playing basketball, and she would go up for a layup, and no one would even be around her. And she, goddamn, if she didn't hit that floor so hard, and she'd be laying there like, oh. And she's in all
I'm
kinds
hurt,
of
Coach.
writhing around.
I'm
in
hurt. Take
pain.
me out.
And I swear to God,
take me out.
no, not take me out. That was the part of her, like the ref would come running over and be like. and give a foul to whomever was even remotely
right, in the
close
same-
by.
in the
nobody
same
wanted to be
stadium.
around her.
Nobody ever wanted to be near.
Don't
and
cover her.
We'd be like on the bench going, "What the fuck?" She didn't. Nobody touched her, and she would play act, and then she'd
But
get
she
up
was
and
serious.
she'd like limp,
Yeah, she
and she'd come back, and
and
Gus-
miraculously walk it off.
totally. Gus would come over, our coach, and he'd be like, "Martina, you good?" And we'd be like, "Really? You're buying this? We were
Marnie,
in theater a week ago."
Little
and
did she know that at that time she was hashtag LeBroning.
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 She was really starting a craze.
Hysterical. No, coach, I'm good.
What
I'm
I
good.
got out of that story, the biggest thing I got out of it is you played sports. That's
In a shocking turn of events, we have a lesbian sports
A
player
legitimate lesbian athlete.
and a gay man who enjoys award shows.
this and more.
Shells.
Yeah. No, I don't enjoy puka
On
shells.
the panel.
That's fantastic. I digress.
I love
Sorry.
it. So, just a little bit of Big O news. The Olympics.
Don't say Big O near her. She gets all
Big O,
clutchy.
Big O, Big O. The Olympics beginning on, anyone know the date? Anyone know? Opening ceremonies, when's it
No, I
start?
have no idea.
February 8th or something like
February
that.
7th.
7th.
Nice.
what I was
Ends on
gonna
February
say.
23rd, so we're really excited it's coming up. Although we all hate Sochi a little bit for a number of reasons.
I saw a shot today, a live shot where there was snow somewhere.
They made
I
it.
was impressed.
It was probably fake.
The polar
Yeah.
vortex made it that way.
Oh, God bless the vortex of polarity.
And while we hate Sochi, we love
Polarity?
our
Polarity.
American Olympic athletes, and we're really excited for them. I had some info. We've already kind of discussed it about the drama in U.S. women's figure skating.
Sure.
But the other piece is, so Ashley Wagner, the little third place cutie that made it onto the team, and she's really, honestly, she's adorbsies, and it's the whole thing is a bad news for
Totes.
She's
Totes
She
adorbs.
is adorbsies. It's bad news because it was the figure skating officials that really made the call,
Right.
And
they do it all. They do it all the
They
time.
do it, and it's sad for the girl that didn't make it, and excited / sad for the girl that did make it, because she's actually giving up social media through the Olympics. I know it's not huge news, but what sucks is the people are like hating on her on social
Right.
Yeah.
media, and
Well, and if she does even one little slip up, they're gonna
Yeah.
be like, "See,
well,
if she does choke on the
Right.
international stage,
Right.
which she has not done so far.
And she said, Twitter is a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's tough to filter out the good things that you hear and the awful things that people write. So I'm going cold turkey. She's there to focus on the Olympics. It's just too bad. It's not her fault that
Right.
she was selected
Right.
over the other girl. And she's young. It's
And
too bad.
And how old is Ashley Wagner? Is her
You know,
name
I was
Red?
actually. It is. It's Ashley Wagner. Let me Google really quickly. Ashley Wagner age.
You want us to vamp
because
again?
it's no.
Okay.
She's 22.
Yeah, so she is at the end of her career, and she
Isn't
did
that
earn
a
the
shame?
spot. Yeah, and I thought the age had something to do with it, and if you
And it may
yeah, and the other girl is 16 and just
has another chance in.
but not only that, but she had an unusually good day where the other one had just a
unusually
rare
bad day. So, but what's
the other two were so lucky because they weren't really anybody. Like they weren't factored in at
Gracie
all.
Gold is like the new thing.
Yeah, because she didn't. She
And
took
she's
it.
and her name's Gracie Gold.
Yeah,
also.
which is yeah.
So, you know, you're going to win some stuff. But what really is too bad is like she's being slammed on social media by a bunch of fucktards who could literally probably not stand still
You're
on
right.
ice skates. Like they could not like move on ice
Right,
skates.
yeah.
So that's kind of the biggest bummer about the whole thing. She's at the top of her game and I'm
And the other
happy
girl
for her.
may be an alternate. Like they may have her as traveling as the alternate, and you never know. A lot of times the understudy goes on for different reasons. Like somebody hits somebody in the knees with a baseball bat.
Maybe not.
I'm
super happy for
spitballing here,
her.
top of my head.
Could possibly happen.
And the very last thing, and this is short. So, have you guys heard of Tracy and Lainey Barnes? Anyone?
Does it ring a bell?
Okay. Have you ever heard of the biathlon?
Yes.
Right. So it's the
Skiing
most
and
bizarre.
shooting a rifle.
It's the most bizarre.
It's my-
While?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
no. You ski, you cross country ski, and then you shoot something.
Oh.
And then you cross country ski and shoot something.
It's only
and
a
you
sport in
cross-country
like the
ski
European
and
countries
shoot
I've
where you're
never
cross country
heard of
skiing
this.
through a war
Super
zone.
bizarre. Well, we actually have
It's one of my favorite events. I tape it
it's
every
pretty
year.
cool.
Jesus Christ.
So
really?
you'll be excited about this.
Think of how this would appeal to me. The randomness of cross country skiing to
And
a gun
shooting.
range and shooting.
It's so weird. It is
makes-
really, really
It
weird.
almost sounds like a skit on SNL.
It does, and that's, so you know why I would tape it. Because I'm like, this sounds like something I dreamed up while I was stoned.
so weird.
Or now.
Yeah.
So
Not
the
stoned.
coolest thing that you can
Don't drug test me, please.
watch when you're watching the biathlon this year. So Tracy Barnes and Lainey Barnes, twin sisters that both
Cross-country.
are biathletes. They both cross country ski and shoot at stuff.
She needs to get back here from the Sister Christian gun thing from Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Tracy Barnes, Lainey Barnes, they're biathletes. Do you know what that means in the Winter Olympics? The biathlon.
They do two things.
Now you have to be proud of me
Yes.
that I knew what it was.
They
That
do
is
two
good because I
things,
had to
Marty.
I had to Google it. They cross country ski and rifle shoot stuff.
Oh,
So you ski
The,
and
the
shoot.
Christian Women's
And ski
Association
and
Gun
shoot.
Club
Yeah.
that she's the president of.
yeah, and she got blown
So
up on
here's the cool thing about the biathlon.
Oh, it gets cooler?
Well, here's the
It really, yeah, I'll tape it for you and you'll come over and watch.
Okay.
Tracy and Lainey Barnes. They're twin sisters. They're both
Lady
31.
or
Tracy and
Lainey?
Lainey.
Thank you for clarifying that they have the same age.
Yeah, they're 31.
Seconds apart.
So listen to this. Tracy.
Puka.
I'm sorry,
They are
fucking with
seconds
you.
apart. Tracy earned a spot on the biathlon team following last weekend's qualifying race, but she declined it to allow the woman next in line to go instead.
Her
And that
sister?
was her sister,
Of
Lacey
course it
Lainey.
is.
Of course it was.
So Lainey fell ill over the weekend and could not compete in any of the qualifying rounds. She got super sick. And Tracy, from what I'm kind of understanding, and this article's really poorly written, and thanks NBC Sports, that I believe that they may have both been before, and this is, but this was a better opportunity for Lainey, the sick one, and so Tracy has bowed out to allow her sister to go.
And now her sister can't go?
No, she can. She's going. Lainey's going. Tracy's out. Lainey's in. Very selfless. The whole thing is, this whole article is just about like the bond between sisters. And Tracy has had more wins in her career than Lainey. So she's allowing Lainey to go to the Olympics. It's just cool. It's a very like kind of a bizarre sisterly love piece
that
about
is.
the Olympics that will hopefully inspire people to watch the biathlon and give a shit about what's happening.
And that's
in
what
it.
they do, those human interest rate.
Exactly.
Because there's only a few of us that find that interesting.
So I think it's fucking stupid, but I'll watch it now because I want to know what's happening with Lainey Barnes.
The Olympics in Barcelona was the last, I think it was the last Olympics that they stuck to live. So if you wanted to watch a lot of the events, the poor people in Barcelona had to do it for New York prime time. So the people in Barcelona were like doing like crazy events at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So it would be at 8 o'clock New York time, or however that math really
Right.
works. But the other funny thing was they had all like the equestrian events on in the middle of the night, and it was when I had my old house and I had the TV in my bedroom, and I would just sit there because I had so many roommates and so many living rooms, and I was just watching the Barcelona events, and it's when Bob Costa's got the button for the first time.
Yeah.
And it was Princess Anne doing the call for it's just like the color presentation. Like they're not even jumping or anything. It's it's dressage. It's the one
dressage is the thing that I couldn't pronounce.
It was
Isn't that
dressage,
just prance?
and it was Princess Anne doing the color commentary, and Bob Costa has the button where he can at any point jump in and intervene or say something funny. He's the voice of God on the NBC Olympics. He has the button. Well, it was his first year with the button, and Princess Anne is watching the most boring event ever, and she kept going, beautifully realized. Beautifully realized.
I'm certain it was not funny when it was on, but this is funny.
You would be way better announcing that.
So as she keeps, and it was the only thing she said for every single move. Beautifully realized. Bob Costa switches and he goes, Princess, how about decaf tomorrow night? And it was one of those times where I'm so glad I don't sleep. Because it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, Arizona time. I'm watching the most boring thing that's ever been on TV. And the phrase, and if anybody knows me, I've been saying beautifully realized since that minute.
Forever.
And it's Princess Anne, poor dead thing, with Bob Costa.
Poor dead little thing.
And it was because there was no emotion in her voice at all. She was not excited.
She wasn't watching.
I'm going to Google it.
And the fact that he accused her of being overly caffeinated to be that bored.
How about decaf tomorrow night?
She just was not even paying attention.
And that's my favorite
funny.
Olympics moment.
That's
very funny.
That is very funny.
Well,
All
I
right,
will say that for this week, that is all in sports.
and other stuff.
And what with the Olympic season, the
Well
Oscars
done.
season, there's so much to do the next 2 months.
But at this time, we'll
If I was a listener, I would tune in all the time.
yes.
Right.
Let's do this and let this get this beautifully realized.
And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we, in the studio, try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel and have them try to answer it while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when an important question comes up 90 minutes after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? You're fucked up. What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? You've been warned. Good luck.
Okay, so
Good luck.
this comes to us from Real Simple. And it's about sweating the small stuff and people who just blow off stuff and get on with their day, and the people that everything is a major event
Hurdle.
or crisis and hurdle.
It's terribly realized.
Yeah, terribly realized. I can't believe I'm at a formal event with puka shells on.
Get you and your puka shells out of here.
God damn. I just didn't.
Now, according to this, there is a way to train yourselves to not sweat the small stuff. So my question would be,
Don't give a fuck.
Marnie's already kind of cheated and seen this question before.
Oh.
So, Marcia, do you feel that you need training, or do you feel like you already have achieved this of not sweating the small stuff?
Oh no, I need to be trained like a motherfucker. Yeah, big time.
So then I'm going to throw a follow-up question at you. So in your relationship, can you have two people that sweat all the small stuff together?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay. All right, well then tell us your story.
No, this caught my eye because the idea of sweating the small stuff is so true. You hand me a really big issue, something happens at work, something happens in life, and it's a big deal. Boom, I'm on it. you have your roles. Like something happens, a friend gets sick, you have your role. Like you know what role you're gonna play. Clayton knows what role he's gonna play, and
or your girlfriend buys a house that's falling apart around her,
or that.
Yeah. Again, spitballing. Not know where I got that from.
I don't know.
I'm
picking it out of
just
nowhere.
saying. But I mean, you have this big issue. Fine, you handle it. Like you figure out a way. That same house that might be falling apart around you. I walk through the door. I'm like, all right, good. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And you put it back together. But I trip going up the stair.
And you want to tear down the whole staircase.
I'm gonna burn it, and I'm a motherfucker, and I'm screaming, and I haven't even hurt myself, but I'm gonna lose my shit. Or you go to take a shirt off the hanger, and 4 other shirts come off the hanger. Done.
Isn't that so fucking annoying?
See?
It
Done.
literally
Wow.
makes me crazy.
You're not
No,
even
but I mean,
involved at
it's-
this
no,
point.
but-
You're mad.
No, but it's for me, it's that kind of stuff because it just seems like, really?
It is
Why,
super annoying.
Why in the world does that have to happen? What? And it's so ridiculous that I get that I get like that. You drop your keys. I think it says that in there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you're going to run out the door and you're doing this and you're like, what? That's where the self-deprecating stuff a lot falls in place for me. What, you fucking moron?
Yeah,
Oh, good on you, Ryer. Yeah.
I have to agree with that. That when it does happen, I take that as a time for self-flagellation. Like I really go
Overboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, hugely.
Get out of my dreams.
Yeah, get into my car.
Get out of these. Get me out of these fucking Puka shells before I fall into a coma.
Yes.
Totally unnecessary.
Totes.
That was unnecessary.
Totes.
But I mean, yeah. So something really big, okay? Because I think that then you can't just react. I mean, you can react emotionally in the sense of like crying or whatever. But I think that because it's so big, you have to think it through. Like you have to take the time to step back and say, okay, now what the fuck do we do? All right, A, B, C, D, and whatever. You drop your keys and you're in a hurry. There's just A and an F.
Yeah.
Fuck!
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing where
You do the entire dialogue from All Is Lost.
it's just frustrating.
That's it. The entire.
That's
That's
it.
it. That's
It's
it.
good.
And
Yeah.
scene.
Scene. Yeah. That is my. I just did the entire movie of All Is Lost.
Good.
By
I
the
don't have to
way,
watch it. Thank you.
I know who should be getting an award. Puka show.
Yeah.
But yeah. So for me, any kind of training that there could be out there, and don't tell me to fucking breathe, because I swear to God, that will get you a harassment lawsuit.
And a stab in the neck.
Harassment.
Uh-oh, because I just told
No.
you that on Facebook. Belly breathe. It's
No,
the
no.
Sesame Street song. I love it. I didn't
That's
tell you. I told the proverbial you.
absolutely
Belly breathe?
No,
It's a Sesame Street song, and it is genius.
the whole idea, like when people are like, just kind of calm down. Are you okay?
Hang on, kitty.
And that,
Oh, don't call me Kitty.
Kill
Also, that
somebody.
too.
Two things. Fuck off and don't call me kitty. Here's the small stuff I'm worrying about. You're calling
These-
me kitty,
yeah,
and you're still alive.
Go
Well,
fuck
and-
yourself.
and- I'm gonna tell you.
Weeks ago, she looked at you and she said large fairies.
Oh, I know.
So-
The name
Such a
calling
good
around here is just atrocious.
It's
Marsha,
rude, really.
Marsha,
It's just
Marsha.
it
We do
feels
not
abusive.
we have no HR department, so we're good.
Thank God, because there's a lot of harassment going on.
Exactly.
But I just find it to be interesting when I see other people just kind of go with it. Like, not a big deal. Not a big deal. They drop something, they do this. Those little things, I can't.
Yeah.
Can't. So,
Yeah.
anyway, that's me. I need a lot of training. I'm okay
So,
with that.
did you hear it? It's
Mostly,
so it's about sweating the small stuff and the damage
Yeah,
that
no,
it
I
can
do that.
And do you feel like they're saying they're offering training now? Like there's
Yeah.
PhD people. There's
I'm all set with the training. I could definitely use it. I sweat
Give
the
me a
small
gift
stuff
card.
beyond.
But,
And I'll just,
you would do it in conjunction with a diet for about 7 minutes, and then
Probably
you'd be
true.
done.
Yeah, because
Probably
you mixed
true.
your sweating the small stuff with ADD, so you can't remember what the small stuff was 2 minutes later.
By the way,
you think I'm ADD
well,
also?
ADHD, just so you know, is tied to bowels at this point. So you've got a lot going on with shitting. The end. Yeah, we'll go ahead and
The more you poop, the more you know.
There you go.
Maybe not. I don't know.
There's that.
Maybe
I'll
not.
go ahead and send you.
So
the
now
article.
her follow-up question was about her relationship, but mine to you though is, do you sweat the small stuff, but the big picture you get through, like you plow through. But
I think it depends on, it's situational for me. Like I will sweat the small stuff, and I'll use one example that I think covers a lot of things. Like when I worked at the Democratic Party and I was responsible for all of our big dinners and all of our big events, leading up to it, I would literally lose sleep, literally losing sleep, waking up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning in cold sweats. My heart is pounding. Even for this HRC gala, I've been taking Xanax way more than I should be. Like I'm having panic attacks because there's so much work and I'm like sweating everything, whether it's small or large, doesn't matter. I'm like, probably not cut out for this kind of a job, but I'm doing it. And I make
might
it good.
be what I got out of that.
And
too.
I make it good. But so here's my example with the Democratic Party. So I'm like sweating literally balls before I get to the
Maybe not literally balls.
Yeah, literally.
no, that happens.
Milk duds.
Buckets.
Sweating balls before I get to the event, and everything feels crazy, and I feel I inevitably I always feel unprepared. I feel like I have no control, and I get there. And things run fine because I am actually prepared. I have done all the work that needs to go into it. I do know what I'm doing. I have like loads and loads and loads of unnecessary self-doubt at all times that causes me to sweat all of the small stuff. And it just makes me think like when I'm thinking of this one dinner in particular, and I had a volunteer with me and she was panicking. And normally that's how I view myself, as like a panic Patty. And I said to her, it's okay. Like, we're going to handle it. And in the face of other people, like when I'm private at home by myself, I am physically making myself sick over the small stuff. But when I get into this setting, or I'm kind of quote unquote on, I'm cool as a cucumber. Sure. And like nothing is going to get me. And I go, okay, so there's a massive problem outside. Let's figure it out. Yeah. And like and we move through it and it's fine. And I go, oh, I'm sorry, the president wasn't on the guest list. Well, we'll go ahead and put him on and let's find a table. Like that kind of thing. Sure. It's really weird. Kelly and I have disagreements about it a lot because she's like, I don't understand why you get like fucking crazy at home and then as soon as you're in front of anyone else, you're like, everything's great.
Yeah, that's a stage persona.
It is.
We all
It is,
any of us who've been on stage, and we all have.
That's literally not sweating the small stuff.
That's right.
That's making a production when you can, and then
okay, then I don't.
And then when it's time to perform and get something done, it gets done because you aren't mired down in the details.
Okay, so I guess then you're right. Then I guess I don't. But to me, I feel like, I mean, Kelly's come out every day this last week, and she's like, "Do you need a Xanax?" Every day for 5 days, and I'm like, yes, I do.
Helpful partner or enabler?
You decide. Enabler.
Yeah.
It's a fine line.
Puka shell enabler.
No. Helpful.
I like you better when you take these.
Take 4. Maybe I don't sweat the small stuff. Let's have a conversation later.
Yeah.
Can you counsel me?
Yeah,
you don't sweat it because you're drinking about it. I think you're fine.
No, I'm Xanaxing. I physically can't sweat.
Yeah.
So that's why.
There you go.
I think in regards to the question posed to the panel, I think I do freak out if things aren't in order because that bugs me. But I don't. If it's the small thing, I don't. Maybe I'm interpreting your question wrong. But like I seem to always find that people that I run into, that maybe you, like for example, that were freaking out about something. Like there's 10 things that are all askew that have to be done because that's inhibiting us from getting to the big problem. So I'm always the one that comes in and knocks out these 10 little things like, okay, we need 2 screwdrivers, some duct tape, and a piece of cheese. We're good.
Right.
Yeah, I can MacGyver us through this. Right. I can get us through this. And then once we get to that, then the big thing. And then I find out that the problem is somebody created all these little things to get because they don't want to deal with the big problem. That's more often not what I find in that. Now I don't know if that's not sweating, but I don't know if that's where, because I'm not saying I'm sweating the small stuff.
May I?
Well, no, you may. I'm just gonna say I don't know if I'm interpreting what you asked correctly.
I don't think you sweat the small stuff.
But I don't think I think I like everything to be in order. But I'm more. Let's get through all this little shit and let's get to the big picture. Because if you just dive in and tackle it, it's really not big.
But I think the problem is, if I can just add on to what you're saying, is that the people that are sweating the small stuff are doing it to stay away from the big
issue.
That they're just not tackling it. Mm-hmm. They just get mired down over here to give themselves an excuse as to why have you never taken care of that problem over there.
Disagree.
Oh no, but then there's the people like, and we've all just agreed to the same thing, that there's the people that like, and I'll give you an example. Like this last couple of weeks at work have been very, very hard, very, very stressful, and I have just been obsessing over this one thing and like getting everybody on this page. And finally somebody was like, what's the hard on for this? And I had to do a little bit of self-reflection because I'm kind of tired. I'm kind of over-emotional. I'm a little too attached to what's going on. And I'm like, maybe this is so overwhelming that this is the one thing that I can control. This is the thing that I can actually do something about, where everything else is out of my control. So I've made this the big deal because it's the only thing I can fix.
Sure. I see that.
And so that was a thing of like, I see the big picture, but it's too big. So I'm going to make, if this one thing works, then I'm
going to sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
Because
I
can't do
and I think
else.
it's that big picture, small picture. Can you, and we all do it personally. Like you create a little drama, or you need a little sometimes I think you get everyone gets a little too full of themselves, a little too powerful. And then you do something stupid. You lock yourself out of your car. You forget an important paper. You all of a sudden, you forgot time cards were due, that kind of stuff. And then you just beat yourself up, and it's kind of like your own way of like yinging and yanging your way down.
Oh my God, interesting.
I like that.
Yeah, and I really think that's what it is. And I think all of us have said that when it comes time for the big important thing, we get that shit done.
I figure it out.
Sure.
But when there's time for a little
but how many
self-abuse,
people
No, but
just crawl underneath a pillow?
and you work
can't.
you work or are involved with all of them, and you realize that you're like 6 miles ahead of them because they can't get past this complaint that they have about how this is done, or how that's done, or what color this flag is, or what color that is. And it means nothing, but they're never going to get past that. They can't even see the forest. They don't even know there's a forest there.
Yeah.
They're so far behind. Right. And I think that's what the sweating the small stuff really comes down to is, are you so mired down that you don't even know there's a big picture there?
Okay.
Or is it the codependent thing? That's why I asked you about Aaron.
Yeah.
Do you let yourself sweat the small stuff because you are with someone who does the big stuff?
Right. No, we're both very similar
Yeah.
with that. Yeah. But and when it comes to the big picture, we're both very good, and we're both very good about getting on stage. I mean, like, there was so much going on last week, like, in my brain, and kind of still, but I mean, so much. But I don't want to let you know that.
Right.
I mean, because
obviously that bubbled to the surface later. We found out.
Right, but there are probably 2 or 3 other things that are pretty huge that are along with that. But you kind of go, okay.
Yeah,
I think all of us in here are very much
at
like
work
that.
all the time. I have family say to me all the time, like, can you come back and work again because you're so calm? They're like, everyone else panics and you are so calm. And I'm like, okay, that is some kind of like 11th grade drama club training, because in my mind I'm going fuck.
Right.
And I think the world is crashing down, and everyone around me is like, you're so calm through this, and I'm like,
and you're the one
I don't know
we
how
need.
you're getting that out of me, because
and you're the one we need.
I have stress sweat flowing down my body underneath a dark pair of scrubs.
I think you just keep a smile on your face through those things. You don't let them see you sweat.
And I hum a little tune, or I'm singing something, but the song is always set to the tune of fuck.
By Donna Summer.
Exactly. The disco mix.
Finger on the trigger, parenthetically.
Fuck.
In a pair of puka shells.
Yeah. Love is in control. Parenthetically. Fuck.
I like it.
You've done it again. You've wasted another 3 hours of your life.
Well done.
Listening and watching
Going
us.
for the gold.
It's Q Talk America. I'm Clayton McKee alongside Katie, June, Marnie Ryer, Al Perkins. We are the show. We come to you live from Phoenix, Arizona every Tuesday night from 7 to 10 Arizona time. You figure out what the fuck time it is where you live, because we don't really give a shit. We'll be back next Tuesday for more fun, but we will leave you with a parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday!
Did you just give him the finger?
Yeah.
Oh.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.